The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
I can't believe what I'm listening to.
Baby, baby, baby!
Wow!
The dick. Dirty pervert.
Champipone.
Come on, estas chickadee. Have a house made on your knee.
Shag a pony.
What the hell happened there? What the hell happened? What happened?
Did you break the radio again?
What the hell happened? What the hell happened? No. You're joking. The vibe was getting very, very juicy there. That was a juicy vibe. I'm prepared to try that again.
Go on.
I'm prepared to try that again. Okay, right. This time we're going to do it. It's going to be a much better mix.
I can't believe what I'm listening to.
Baby, baby, baby!
Still that big gap between the old... There we go. All right, we go.
Hello.
You're a fanny. Oh, what?
Wow!
Grab pussy. Oh, it's better.
What are you beefing on about?
Fanny.
Come on, estas chickadee. Have a house made on your knee. Eat an apple every day. An onion keeps everyone away. Have an athlete on your feet. Have a love smell on your sheet. Eat an apple every day. The doctor has got to keep away. He'll tell you thanks for the memory. Thanks for it all. Man, thank you, man. Thanks for the ball.
You're a fanny.
Have a burglar alarm. Have milkmaid on your farm. Can you raise a ballyhoo? If only there's nothing else to do. Have some butter with your fly. They said bananas could get you high. Eat an apple every day. But the doctor has got to earn his pay. He'll tell you thanks for the memory. Thanks for it all. Man, thank you, man. Thanks for the ball.
I can't believe what I'm listening to. Wow! I've got a mouthful of sausage. Yes. What are you beefing on about? Who the hell is in Jamaica?
Yeah, baby. Grab pussy.
Yes, mate. From now until next Friday, and then probably for quite a bit after, we're going to play a lot of Slade songs. Dave Hill's coming in the studio next Friday! I am beyond thrilled. Here's the thing, right? The Slade, if they hadn't have done that Christmas song, and if they hadn't have worn the silly outfits, they would be regarded as one of the greatest rock bands of all time, right? And I know Dave was into the song. Dave would wear the most outrageous clothes. And I can't remember, it's Noddy and I think Jim wrote the songs, and they'd kind of say to him, Dave, do you have... They took him aside at Top of the Pops one day when he had, like, a silver cape and the boots and all of this, and they said, Dave, have you really got a dress? Have you got a dress like that? And he said, lads, you write the songs, I'll sell them. And that's a great line, isn't it? But if they hadn't have dressed like that and they hadn't have done that Christmas song, I swear to God, Slade would be considered one of the greatest British rock bands of all time. They'd be up there with Sabbath. They'd be up there with Zeppelin. I think they're better than Led Zeppelin. And I've said that before, and that's not me trolling. I seriously think they are better than Led Zeppelin. And here's the thing, right? I love my bands in movies. I love it. The Beatles, the Monkees, David Bowie. I love it, right? If you've never seen the movie Slade in Flame, oh God, it's like, what's it like? Let's do a mathematical formula. A Hard Day's Night multiplied by Kes divided by Threads. It gives you, honestly, maybe take the Threads out of it. Hard Day's Night multiplied by Kes. Have you seen it, Kath?
No.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And it was a flop, and it kind of almost killed Slade, because everyone was expecting A Hard Day's Night. 4 jolly lads running around being chased by girls. And they do this really, really bleak, grim movie, sort of based on their life, about just getting ripped off. And it is miserable, and it's such a good film. And some of the best music ever. Such a good album, Slade in Flame. I'm bringing in my copy of Slade in Flame, CD and DVD box set. I'm bringing that in next Friday. Dave's going to sign it.
Oh, I've got this single from the 70s my dad gave me.
Bring it in.
Well, that's a good idea.
Bring it in. Go get it all signed and we'll sell it on eBay. No, we won't. It's not going on eBay. Michael, stay there. It'll come to you in a second. Honestly, you know we only get people on that we really like, okay? People that we really dig. And I saw that Dave Hill was doing a book signing at our friend Simon's bookshop in North London, Big Green Bookshop, which we love. And I was like, oh, I'm jealous. Oh, I'm really jealous. And I didn't know Dave was doing the rounds. And so I got in touch with Dave's people. And they came back and they said, yeah, how about the Friday the 30th? I said, yeah, does he want... Would he stay for an hour? They went, yeah, of course he'll stay. He said, we've got one request, though. Dave's doing Radio 4 the next morning. Could you get him a cab to the hotel? Dude, yes, of course. So thrilled. He's got a book out, and Dave Hill's gonna be sat there for an hour. And here's the great thrill for him and me, for him more. I'm gonna bring in the folder of lyrics.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring in the folder of lyrics, and I'm gonna see if I can revive his career, if I can kickstart his musical career, just a little kickstart. And it'll elevate me to the position I deserve to be. So keep your fingers crossed, guys. Could be writing songs for Slade very, very soon. 0344 499 1000. By the way, got Christmas for the boys sorted out. Oh, well, I met this bloke at a petrol station. He had these boxes of this great toy that apparently is going to be huge this Christmas. And I bought a box of 100 of them for 200 quid. They're called... fidget spinners. I bought 100 fidget spinners for 200 quid, and they look fantastic. But they're amazing, right? They're these little things. They're like little ninja throwing stars, and you hold them in your finger, and you spin them. Now they don't spin very fast. They kind of spin about half a turn, and then you got to flick it again, and it goes half a turn, and flick it again, it goes half a turn. Very satisfying, though. Very satisfying. So I got a load of them. So my boys are going to get 50 fidget spinners. Is that what they're called? Fidget spinners, Sam? You're young. Fidget spinners. They're going to get 50 fidget spinners each. I'm not going to individually wrap them. That would be ridiculous. I'll wrap them in a pile of 100 and say you split them. But that's my Christmas sorted. Sorted. You got the girls' presents yet? I've got loads of fidget spinners which you can't have.
Oh, no. They've already discarded theirs. I'm thinking Father Christmas is taking care of my kids.
Well, Father Christmas takes care of my kids, but then the parents also buy them presents, and this is the first Christmas that they're having Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Then they're coming to me, so they're getting right. So if my watch stopped at 10 o'clock, and they're getting presents from Father Christmas at their house and presents from their mother, but then in 25 minutes' time they're getting presents at my house. What time is it, and how many presents are my kids getting? Shed loads. That's what's happening. Good evening, dear listener. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? I said it and I didn't really know.
It's been Wednesday for a while.
Sam heard the hesitancy there. I said it and then I thought, I've got actually no idea. I've got no idea if it is.
Do you know what? It is Wednesday. You're doing really well.
Thank you, Catherine. It is Wednesday. It's the late night alternative, Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock. I'm Iain Lee. What's your name again, lady?
Today, Catherine.
Hey, Dr. Perverta. How do you say it? How do you say it in such an erotic way? This is how you say it. I've got to sort these. I've got to sort these clips out.
Grab pussy.
That's not it. I can't find it. We're never going to find it.
Singing, we're glad to be gay.
No.
Singing, we're happy this way.
Hey.
Singing, you're glad to be gay. Singing, you're happy this way.
Tasty.
Can't find it.
I can do it live.
Go on.
Dirty pervert.
0344 499 1000 is the phone number. Michael, stay there. You're going to be the first cab off the rank. Big show this evening, guys. Big show. We're going to speak to the dead. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's do a couple of calls first of all. Let's go to Michael. Good evening, Michael.
Evening, Ian. Evening, Kathleen.
Kathleen?
Hello, Michaela.
Oh, Kath.
Did you say Kathleen?
You've changed your name by default. You're Michaela now, are you?
Did you say, hang on, did you call her Kathleen?
He did, yeah.
I did.
Why?
I don't like Kath. I don't like Kath.
I don't like Kath either, but I've got to work with her. It's a contractual obligation.
Neither one of them are my name.
No, her name's Catherine.
Kathleen, then.
Catherine.
Catherine.
Yeah. Anyway.
Right.
Yes.
I've got a question for her.
By the way, we can do
I'm
this.
still here. You don't have to talk
Hang
about
on.
me.
We can do this, dear listener. Michael raises a good point. Sometimes you don't like your own name. I've never liked Ian. Yet when I changed my name, I kept the Ian. I could have changed that as well. And sometimes we don't like other people's names. So, if you've got suggestions for names for me or Kathleen, what was it? Michaela. Catherine, sorry. If you've got suggestions for new names for me or Catherine, 0344 499 1000. And if you don't like your name, you can either change it on the air or we'll change it for you. And it will be a legally binding change. Mm-hmm. That's what we are, legally obliged to change your names on the air. 0344 499 1000. Are you happy with Michael? Because Michael's a bit of a, you don't get many Mickeys these days. You get a lot of Mickeys in the 60s and the 70s. And ever since Tony Basil, you don't get any Mickeys anymore.
Not so many baby Mikes either.
No, what?
Well, a Mike.
No, I was in a baby. I thought, yes. Yes, Mickey.
So what are we calling Kath now?
Well, we're calling her Catherine, as that's her name, until we come up with a better name.
Hasn't she got three names like most people?
We could ask her, I suppose.
Four names, middle name, surname.
We could ask her. Well, she's got a Christian name at the end of her name, and of course she's got her surname, which is her first name.
That's back to front.
Sorry?
That's back to front.
Sorry, all right. She's got a surname, which is her first name, and the Christian name, which goes at the end. There's not a posh way of saying middle name, is there?
No.
Well, you could use it. You can use it, can't you? It is a name you was christened with.
Well, you were christened with it. You can use it. I tell you what, Michael. Instead of talking about her, we could ask her if you wanted to.
What we're going to ask her? Has she got a middle name?
Still discussing whether you're going to speak
Hang
to
on
me
a minute.
directly.
Hang on a minute.
I mean,
please, Catherine. We're talking about whether we're going to ask you a question, and if we do, what that question's going to be. So just butt out of it. Yes, okay. Today is 100 days, 100 years since women were allowed to stand for election. But let's just not dwell on mistakes in history. So, Michael, what do you want to... First of all, do we want to ask Catherine a question? And if so, what do we want that question to be?
I want to know how she knows what a squaddy wash is.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Please, Catherine. We're talking about whether we're going to ask you a question, and if we do, what that question's going to be. So, Michael, do you want to... First of all, do we want to ask Catherine a question? And if so, what do we want that question to be?
I want to know how she knows what a squaddy wash is.
Okay, so the name thing has been discarded, and we're going straight to the squaddy wash.
Yes.
I could answer that for her.
She came out with it. No surprise that she knew that.
Well, I
could
answer that. I could answer that for her. In fact, I probably will to save her getting into this conversation. There are two reasons, and please, there are two reasons she knows the phrase
squaddy wash.
Thank you. One is she has family that are in the military, and I cannot say which army they're in.
It's not in the army.
Exactly.
It's not a squaddy either.
Okay, I didn't say it was a squaddy. Didn't use the word squaddy, so you've embarrassed
That's
yourself.
not the reason I know the term.
And I know I've got. There are two reasons, and one So one is she has got a member of the family in the SAS, as I call them, the Who Dares Wins posse.
It's not in the SAS at all.
SAS.
Yes, the SAS. Did you know? Did you know, Michael? And I bet Catherine didn't know this. There's an SBS.
Yeah, I do know that.
Did you know that, Michael? What does the B stand for, Michael?
I've got a clue.
Well, you're an idiot.
I know.
I'll tell you. It stands for the Special Bastard Service.
No.
And it means they are the hardest bastards in the army, even harder than Team A. But also she knows...
I would say the Legion are probably the hardest.
The what?
The Legion.
What, the boozers down the British Legion?
No, the boozers over in
the French Foreign Legion, la Française de Légionnaire pour la déserte. But she also knows it because it's quite a common phrase, and she's quite bright. Those are the two reasons. No. They really are, Catherine. No. They really are the two reasons.
That wouldn't be the
you
reasons
know
I would
the
give,
phrase.
But no one's asked me.
So I hope that answers your question, Big Mike. Baby Mike.
Because does she actually know how they have a wash?
Yes, of course she does. What they do is
cold water in the basin.
They connect a hose to a urinal.
Oh, no, they don't.
And then it sprays out all over them.
Yeah, that's to get the pong away when they go in the field after the cattle.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, I hope I've answered Kath's questions well enough for you, Michael.
Well, can't you speak?
Okay. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. 100 years since women were allowed to stand for election. That is nuts. I was thinking about that today, right? I don't know if it's today, but they've been talking about it on the radio a few times. So I'm not doing a thing now. It's only 100 years. So just after the First World War, blokes went, do you know what? I think we've screwed this up somewhat. Let's say that women have a chance. That's it. Here's the thing. It's only just dawning on me, right? And I apologise about this. It's only just dawned on me how, if you are not a white heterosexual man, how screwed up this world is for you. Even if you go, I'm going to say one step down in the perceived ladder of privilege, go one step down to a white heterosexual woman. The gap between the white heterosexual man and the white heterosexual woman is huge. It's huge. We've not even got onto the LGBTQ plus or black or white. We've not even got there yet. We've just gone to the white heterosexual woman. The gap is amazing. And they were talking about it a lot on the news. I think it must be today that women were allowed to stand for election for the first time. You know who the first female MP was? I do, actually. I do. The very first one didn't sit in Parliament because she was Irish. Yeah. So she didn't. And the first one he did was a Conservative. Can't remember her name. Lady Astor. That's it. That was it. She was American. Was she really? Mm-hmm. But just today, I thought, flipping it, 100. It's only been 100 years. What is? I don't. I have no question. I'll come to you in a second, Alan. I have no question. I have no real thought out statement to make. I just let that fact sink in that you, women, have only been allowed to stand for election as an MP for 100 years. And before that, it was blokes. Mm-hmm. It was blokes. I don't... The world is nuts.
They do know what's best for us, don't they?
Well-
that was the thing, in families, you would defer to the head of the household, even if he was a, thicko.
It wasn't perfect because we did have World War II under your reign. So...
I'm not sure how much we had to do with that, apart
You
from
were- you
keeping
were-
the home fires burning.
You were in power. Oh, keeping fires burning, exactly. Arson. So, no, not the pacifists that we thought.
Making things to drop on the, on the Germans.
That was incredible. And I would like to say to women, as a spokesman for the male community, I would like to say sorry. I'd like to say sorry. We screwed you over big time, man. We screwed you over big time. And I'll apologise to the black and the Asian and the gay and lesbian community at some point. But today I want to apologise to women on behalf of men. We have screwed you over for centuries. And you know what? I think we're going to screw you over for a little bit longer before you get the upper hand. But it's going to... man alive, the world is nuts. And that's why we let Alan Caddick on the show. Only if Alan can pass one simple test. Alan, name something that happened on yesterday's show that you were not involved in, please.
I'm 25 hours behind Ian because I can tell you what happened on the I never qualified for last night.
Right. If you want to come on today's show...
I can tell you what happened on Monday.
Well, that will get you on Tuesday's show, and that's
no,
been...
But you said no to Tuesday.
Well, yeah, I saw you phone up.
No, I'm 25 hours behind.
Well, you still... No.
You're giving me answer for Monday to qualify.
No.
No, Ian.
No.
I knew this would happen.
Well, you should have... Then all you had to...
I told Sam you were going to cut me off.
All you had to do was listen to 30 seconds of yesterday's show, and then you'd be on tonight. I didn't cut him off. He hung up. He hung up.
Oh, dearie me.
Did we do the break? We did. Okay. We'll get ready for some violent outbursts on an obscure Facebook page that has my name in, and I didn't even know existed until last week when I was told that there were some violent outbursts going on there. Hang on a minute. I didn't cut you off.
No, it looked like I was right, Sam.
Well, I haven't cut you off. You said I cut you. I haven't.
No, I talked to Sam.
Well, unfortunately, do you have Sam's personal phone number?
No, right.
Well, unlucky then. Then he's not going to talk to you. Tough. This is not a phone in and chat to. This is not a phone in and chat to Sam. Phone in. We haven't got that desperate for ideas yet. That's next Tuesday.
Good idea.
All you've got to do, you know the rules, dude.
Look, I do one more for me, and everyone else gets straight on. This is victimisation.
Yeah, and your point is?
You're making an example of me because I'm not a regular listener. You're making an example of me because I'm not a regular listener.
Yes.
And I'm warning to other people who try and cheat the system.
Yes, correct. Yes, you've got it. Wow, that was very insightful. Yes, I'm making an example of you because you don't listen to the show that you want to come on and do your monologues on. Yes.
No, but I wanted to change my name. That was all I wanted to do tonight. And now
you can do that.
Then I'm of Alan Caddick forever.
Well, then all you've got to do is tell me something that happened in yesterday's show. Take a guess. So you might be right.
No, I'm going to be wrong because anything I guess, you're going to say wrong, and I'm going to get cut off.
If you get it wrong, then yes, you will be wrong. But you know what? You might get it right. The show was pretty wild last night. It was out there.
Well, I was too busy watching On Celebrity to notice.
Okay, that's fine.
3 hours.
Yeah, I was watching on ITV, then on ITV Plus One, then I was watching on ITV 2 Plus One, Extra Cam.
So you watched it on ITV, then on ITV Plus One. So you watched the same show twice.
Yes.
Right. Well, then just guess one thing that may have been on last night's outrageous show.
Oh, come on! Don't know.
Okay. Well, then make sure you listen to tonight's show. And then you can.
I've got tonight's answer lined up.
Well, what is it?
No, for tomorrow. I've got tonight's answer for tomorrow lined up.
Well, what are you going to say tomorrow then when you phone in?
You're changing people's names.
Okay. Right. Fine. Okay. So you can definitely get on tomorrow's show if you remember that. But unfortunately, Alan, telling me what's on tonight's show is not good enough. So we're going to have to.
You're going to cut me off.
Yes, I'm going to cut you off. He hung up, so I didn't cut him off. So his prophecy was incorrect. It was an incorrect prophecy. 03...
444991,000.
Thank you, Kath.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
03444991000. So my cat is fine. She's an old lady. She's 19 3/4. Velvet. She's deaf. Took her to the vets yesterday. She's fine. Going to be around for a while.
She walks like Tina Turner.
She does. It's very stiff back legs. But just like Tina Turner, her front legs are loose like a goose.
Belting.
And my youngest keep saying, when is Velvet going to die? Because I want to buy a kitten. And I keep going, we're not going to get a kitten until Velvet dies. And then I'm thinking, well, Velvet could be around for a good few more years. Right? She could be, the world record is 31, just before their 32nd birthday for a cat. We could get close to that, right? And at which point, my youngest is going to be like 19, and he ain't going to want a kitten. Of course he will. Everyone wants a kitten. So I've been looking online for kittens. Rescue kittens. Right? Rescue kittens. Not going to buy one. You're going to buy a kitten. They're like £600-700. I'm not buying one. I'll get a rescue cat. And then a few people have said, well, why are you getting kittens? Why don't you go and get an older rescue cat? Because they get ignored. I've done that. I've done my part for that. That was Velvet was a 2-year-old cat when I got her. So I feel, and I've had her for 17 years, so I feel that I have done my part for the older... She's a black cat as well, which apparently no one wants. I love black cats. They're the best. So I feel I have done my part for the older black cat community. So now it's my turn to get a kitten that no one wants. Maybe two. Maybe 2 kittens that no one wants. Who knows? But so me and Kath... I was just sat at my computer when Kath was working, and I just going, oh. And she said, what are you looking at? And then the next hour was just us.
Both of us going, oh!
Cat rescue websites.
So cute.
It was like some weird kind of porn thing. It was the best. So
I'm not allowed a kitten. I would dearly love one, so I'm getting a kitten by proxy.
Yeah. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to get a kitten. Sometimes they come in pairs. Does not want to be separated from his sister. Okay, then, if you insist. I'll take them both in. And I think Velvet will be all right with them. I think she's moved out away from the dog. She's nice and chilled out. She now is, she owns that house. She's an old lady, and she kind of pads around and does
shouts at you.
Shouts a lot because she's deaf. And I think she'll tolerate a couple of kittens. I think she'll, let them know pretty early. She's not into playing and stuff, but I can imagine them getting on quite well. And as long as I make a fuss of her, I think it's going to be all right. If anyone's got any tips, bless you. If anyone's got any tips on introducing kittens to older cats, or where I can get some kittens in Aylesbury, near Aylesbury, it's kind of the nearest town to me is around that way. It's going to happen, man. Kittens. Looking forward to that. 03444991000. It's a Dirty Pervert. Good evening, Iain.
Hey, how's it going?
Dirty Pervert.
It's going very, very well, sir. What you got for us?
Dave Hill. How excited must you be?
Oh, mate, I'm thrilled. I'm watching Slade in Flame at the weekend. I recommend everyone watches it. It is the slowest, most bleakest rock band movie ever. And then put on Slade's, it's got some of the best music. Then put on Slade's greatest hits. And then sit back next Friday evening between 10 and 11 and marvel as I see just how far I can, first of all, blow smoke up his ring piece and then put my tongue up there. That's going to be the plan. Mr. Dave Hill, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. Listen, I've realised, I think, because I read a lot, that's all I seem to read is biographies.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And I get, from what you've been saying, you sort of read very similar ones. And I read the Noddy Holder one and the, God, what's the drummer's name?
Oh, is it? It's not Jim Lee, that's the bass player. It's, the guy, no, it's the guy that had the car crash.
Yeah, really bad accident.
He lost his memory, didn't he? What was his name? Slade drummer. Hang on, I'm Googling it. I know. Don Powell.
Yeah.
Don Powell.
Don Powell. And that's hysterical. Really, really funny.
Is it good? I've not read that one. Yeah, he had a terrible, terrible car crash, I think, in his roller. And he lost his memory, and he couldn't remember. I think he still can't remember how the songs go. And he has to, before each song, they have to just remind him what the rhythm is for the song and then count him in.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm going to back you up on something here.
Thank you.
Even though you keep calling me a pervert every time I ring up.
Well, you spell your name I-A-N.
Dirty pervert.
That's what that means.
Like I say, I lost that I in an industrial accident.
Oh, and I can hear your wonderful partner in the background giggling. Hello, my darling. If you ever want to see what a real Ian feels like, then you just give me a call. You want a real Ian with two eyes.
I don't even want to feel the one I've got, thank you.
Burn. That was a sick burn. Well done.
Yeah.
If I could high five you, madam, I would.
Well done.
I think I've just spoilt her for other men, so...
When I work out what that means, I'll get back to you. Right, yes, go on. So what were you saying? Were you saying something?
Do you know, I don't know. It was...
We've both
Your fault, Ian.
You keep out of this, madam. We've both had a Don Powell moment. No one knows what's going on and what we were just talking about. Noddy Holder's book.
That was it. I've got it now. I was going to back you up there.
Yes.
I only got into Led Zeppelin, and I've not even got into Led Zeppelin. When I bought a car, there was a Led Zeppelin best of CD.
Yeah. Oh.
And I played it, and I still went, yeah, it's all right. But Slade, I think, are a better band, a way better band.
Definitely. But because they did 2.5 minute, 3.5 minute silly pop songs, silly in inverted commas, they're not considered as serious as Led Zeppelin. And also, Slade never cracked America. They played America a lot. And I do know for a fact that they played a gig in New York in America in about 1973, and in the audience were Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley, and they went... let's see if we can rip these guys off. And Kiss totally ripped off Slade. And I know they were a huge influence on American bands, but they never really made it over there.
Well, they're saying that. I did read another book I picked up was the one by the tour manager of Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
And that's really quite wow.
Oh, I don't like... Here's the thing. Some of Led Zeppelin's tour antics, well, I was going to say border on, are actually rape. They're rape, and they're sexual abuse. And, the whole thing of Jimmy Page with the 14-year-old girl, that's a fact. That's out there. I'm not libeling anyone. That's a fact. He plied her with drugs and took her across state lines and was having sex with this 14-year-old girl. That happened. The whole thing with the hotel where you could fish out of the hotel window and get catch snapper fish, and then they inserted them into a groupie. That stuff, as a youngster, I think, these are cool rock and roll stories. As a 45-year-old man, I think, that doesn't work for me, man.
No, me neither, but I guess it was a different world. But that tour manager, though, I reckon he admitted that a lot of the stories were made up by him because he was a bit of a junkie himself, and he needed the money, so he did make up a lot of these stories too. I don't know what's true and what's not, but it's an unbelievable read.
Well, there you go. Ian, thank you very much indeed. I've just tweeted someone to F off while I was talking there. I don't get it, says
that guy.
Pharaoh66.
Person who doesn't use his own name or a proper picture.
I don't get it. This is your job. What's with the depressing attitude every day? I feel like I want to die. Even I, a die-hard fan, can't be bothered to listen now. A show advertises depressing before it you start show?
What's he
Quit
talking
if you
about?
don't like it. Yes, a show, that's your job. Deal with it. When did I say tonight's show was going to be a depressing show? Hey, listen, here's the thing. This is how good I am. This is what genius I am. This is what performance master I am. This is how skillful I am. I can be, literally looking at rope online to put around my neck and still deliver the most upbeat, best show you've ever heard in your life, Pharaoh66. I know what. Why don't you grow a pair of balls, phone me up, and then I'll cut you off. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Doing lots of things that we don't know about, we can't control.
On Talk Radio.
Yes, great.
Pharaoh Ram, call us now. Pharaoh Ram, call us now. Pharaoh Ram, call us now. But you won't call us 'cause you're a bell cheese, saying the show is gonna be miserable because of a tweet that Catherine... So Catherine sends out a tweet saying tonight's show is going to be puerile and pointless, and Pharaoh Ram decides that's a good time to pick on mental illness and say he's never listening to the show again because it's depressing. But hang on, puerile and pointless doesn't mean depressing, Pharaoh Ram. Do you not understand the English language? for crying out loud. Do you not understand the English language? Puerile and pointless, doesn't it? And also, she wrote that because we got told off today. We got told off by someone who, of no great import at Talk Radio, who said our show was puerile and pointless. Because I got right. So we got told off, right? Because during the news, one day, the other day, I played this.
A dick.
Right. So we got told off and got called pure. Oh.
I was seriously fall out with you.
Okay, well, let me delete it then. No.
Let me just see what's been done.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
Come on.
Enjoy your water.
Oh, come on now. Come on now.
Pharaoh Ram was right.
Sorry? You're siding with Pharaoh Ram 66? Of all people? Pharaoh says, go ahead, bash another listener.
You don't listen anymore, you said.
Call you? Are you nuts? The way you have, even ripping callers these last days? Why bother? No wonder no one calls. My name is Pharaoh Ram and I'm a chicken. We get more calls than any other show on this station, dude. Pharaoh 66, he is a chicken, he's a coward. He's too scared to pick up the phone. He said, tell you what, you can even phone up under the name Pharaoh. And stop using, you don't have to give us your name, you coward. You big old coward. Pharaoh, you belches. Where does puerile, what was it, puerile and what?
Puerile and...
Inconsequential?
Pointless.
Where does
that's all good.
Where does that mean depressing, Pharaoh? Answer that question. Right? And this is the last little bit of communication I'll have with you through Twitter, because I don't know if you know this, I'm doing a radio show, not a Twitter show. So answer this, then I'll block you. Or phone in and I'll unblock you. Oh, there's a phone number that we don't know. But what does puerile and pointless mean depressing? What do those things... Can you see the connection between those two things? Because I don't see the connection. Is that him? Yeah? No? Yes? No? Is he coming back? So what did he... Come on the microphone. What did she say?
Literally just phoned up. I assume it was him.
Yeah.
It was like, I know he's coming off the venlafaxine, just look after him, mate. That was it.
Oh, how
Jesus,
patronising.
You patronising prick. You patronising bell cheese, all of you. I've never felt finer!
I'm not on medication and I think you're an idiot. No one's looking after me.
Oh, Pharaoh. All right, Pharaoh. Time to say blackety black. Hey, listen, give us a call, Pharaoh, and we'll unblock you, man. It's as simple as that. It really is as simple as that. Sorry if you're not digging the show. What can I tell you, man? The show, I think, has been on fire this week. There's a couple last week that were a bit more. So, Rebecca Vardy has come out and said that loads... Have you seen this interview? Said that
I have very little interest in what that woman has to say about anything.
But she said that loads of the jungle is faked.
Do you think she was just being controversial for attention?
So what she says is true, right? To a certain extent. Okay, so this is in Heat magazine, one of the greatest magazines ever. I agree. Every time you go on a website now, do you want cookies? Whatever. Just can I get to the website, please? And I've got an advert for. Oh, because I've been typing in cats. I've got an advert for cat food. Right. Rebecca Vardy claims I'm a Celeb is all fake. She had a fair share of trials and tribulations during her time on I'm a Celeb to Get Me Out of Here. Was she in it last year? But Becky Vardy is more than happy to chat to us about what goes on behind the scenes as long as it's from the comfort of her sofa. Oh, please answer the question to reveal the rest of the article. Get stuffed. Let's go to The Express. Claiming several of the scenes shown on TV are set up and orchestrated. Here's the thing. The whole thing is orchestrated. It's a really expensive television show. So it's orchestrated. It's directed. Rebecca has claimed some of the iconic scenes shown on the reality TV show were fake, as well as saying producers reshot some scenes several times. Now, here's the thing, including when stars cross the bridge to go and complete their bush tucker trials. Yeah, they do. because you've got... Here's the thing, right? So you've got to cross the bridges to get to the Bushstocker trials. Generally, towards the end, you would have 2 cameras, but generally you'd have 1 camera. So you would be filmed walking through the woods, and then they'd say, right, can you just stop there? Can you just go back a bit? Dave, can you move the camera around there so you get them walking past, please? So we do that, and then we get to the bridge, and quite often we'd be filmed walking onto the bridge, then stopped, and someone else would walk onto the bridge and stop, then the camera would go to the other end of the bridge so they could film us. But that's not... But that's not fakery, that's television. And also, none of that was integral to the storyline. It's not as if we were told, guys, sorry, that thing, Iain, that thing you just said to Shappy, can you say it again but be a bit angry? It was nothing like that. This stuff was all just technical stuff, so they're covered for shots and things.
And we know it's not live all the time.
Speaking to Heat magazine, Becky said the way the show is edited surprised her the most. How edited it is, even down to us walking to the trials. We had to do that walk 3 or 4 times. She also commented on how group discussions in camp were pre-planned, with producers apparently suggesting a topic the campmates were to talk about next. Anytime you see people sat around the fire, usually someone's been called to the Bush Telegraph. They return with a bit of paper and says, we all need to discuss this topic. They did that a few times, maybe half a dozen, 8, maybe 10 times tops, probably half a dozen times, I want to say. If we hadn't done anything that day, if nothing had really happened that day and it'd been boring, one of us would get called in and we'd get a laminate and it would say, you'd go out and you say, dear campmates, we would like to know what you would be doing if you hadn't been a celebrity. So then you'd sit there and quite often I'd get the laminate and I would say to Toff, I can't do this. If I say that as a conversation, and we all sat there together, I'd say, if I can't do this and make it sound spontaneous, I'll make it sound sarcastic. And Toff comes from a programme where it's all...
They're given direction.
It's all pre-planned conversations with spontaneous outcomes. So Toff would generally go, guys, I was wondering, if we weren't celebrities, what do you think you'd be? Jamie, what do you think you would be? So we did a few of those, 8 of those maybe, but everything else... Everything else happened as it happened. And I don't know how many... I've not watched it back. And do you know what? I'm never going to watch it back, I've decided. So I didn't even know how many of those conversations were actually included. But everything else was real and as spontaneous. This is the thing. When I went in there, I got called fake and playing a game. And my way of treating it was, and this was my way right from the start, and it had to be my way, is that I was going to work on a TV programme and I was going to be sleeping in a TV studio for 3 weeks, right, even though it was outside. And so when I got there, I made a point of clocking where every single camera was, where every hidden microphone was. I went round and I made a point of knowing it, because otherwise I would have gone nuts. So I had to pretend I was in a TV studio and I had to accept that I was doing a job. And no one else, hardly anyone else accepted that it was a job and a TV show. They were all on like flipping spiritual journey. And I'm there having the same vibe as when I go and do Good Morning Britain or when I did the 11 o'clock show. It was a job. It was a job and I was getting paid for it and I knew where the cameras were. And also I used the cameras to my advantage. I would occasionally turn to a camera as if to, knowing. Yeah. And also you can tell, what was good is you could tell when a camera was moving on you. So you go, oh, I'm saying something interesting. All right, I'll keep this going a little bit. But it's not fake.
Well, the defence
Silly sausage.
For some people, and I'm not naming any names, but the defence for some people when they don't come off as well as they hope they would by going into a television programme is that they've been edited severely. So I'm just going to leave that dangling.
Here we go. It comes after several secrets about the creation of the show were exposed. The iconic waterfall is actually a man-made feature, which is switched off between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. every day to conserve water. I was surprised when I saw that. But then, if you had watched last series, apparently some, secret doors opened and telephones came out.
Yes.
So that don't happen in real waterfalls. Along with the wood, campmates go off to collect for fire that has been dried and chopped up in advance, then strewn over a wide area by TV crews so the slabs can be sent. Yes, by a stream. When we go off to collect wood and you come back with little wooden logs that are just the perfect size for the fire.
And you didn't have to dry them out.
The former, understandably, the celebrities cannot be let loose with an axe to chop their own wood. Alongside that, some of the rocks dotted around the creek are made out of fiberglass. Yeah, there's microphones and cameras in them. So some of the rocks aren't real, and you'd spot them pretty early on.
But the basket that gets dangled down from heaven, that was real, right? I mean, come on. I know that Holly Willoughby is the subject of a "Oh my goodness, I'm a Celebrity" is a television programme story today, because in one shot she's wearing a jumper with a slogan on, and the next shot it's a plain black jumper.
Oh, man alive.
But goodness me.
But, you know, I am avoiding this year's I'm a Celebrity, but I'm happy to, if people want to phone up and kind of, you know, cross-reference my experience, I'm happy to kind of talk about it, but it's a TV show. This was another thing. When I got saved from nominations, I got like a pass through, so I wasn't nominated for the first thing, and I'd said I wanted to leave, and I really did want to leave at that point. I really, really wanted to leave. I thought, God, I've got to stay for another day, maybe another 2 days. But when I got that pass, I did kind of cheer, and Rebecca Vardy said, "Oh, you're a game player," and I said, "No." This is what I said to her. I said, "It's just dawned on me at this point, with me being excluded from nominations, or whatever it is, I'm in the biggest game show on television. I've just remembered. I'd forgotten for a bit, and I got sucked into. I said to her, I've remembered I'm in a really big game show. This is a game show. We're in a game show.
They're all playing a game.
And this is part of the game, is people at random. They were at random. 2 people got excluded from the first votes, and I was one of them. I think Amir might have been the other. I'm not sure. And I said to her, this is a game show. And she got really angry at me calling it a game show. And I don't know what these people think when they go in there. Anyway.
Not a lot.
Listen, guys, we got paid so much money to do that. I got paid the least amount of money out of all of them, I found out. And I'm still really, really happy. Let's just say that the money I got paid was half of the deposit for the house. I mean, you know what I mean? I've got a house out of it, pretty much. So thank you very much indeed, ITV. You won't hear me complaining about that aspect of it. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Iain Lee, Catherine Boyle, the Late Night Alternative. Weeknights from 10 on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me down a road where I always seem to be. And every stop I make, I see my old friend. It ain't long till I get spun round and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow my whole world will settle down. But it ain't tomorrow, so I keep moving on. I'm down a road that never seems to end, full of track lines and rails and lies around each bend. So if you're gonna join me for a while, better grab your hat. You know I live like that kind of hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. It ain't tomorrow, so this old world's still my home. I got my own world waiting to unfold in a Ziploc bag where I can drag out this
we're locked in. Hang on.
I made it through so far, so I know it won't be long. I must be almost there. Already paid my fare with this hobo song.
This version doesn't even make any sense. I don't know what he's. He means it, but I don't know what he means.
But it ain't tomorrow, so I guess I'll keep moving on.
Okay, mate, good luck with that.
That's from the new Nick Knowles album.
03444. He's number one now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Number one in the iTunes chart. Good for him. Well done. Great guy. 03444 499 1000 is the telephone number. The switchboard is empty, dear listener, so now will be a great time to give us a call. We need sexual heating.
What does that mean?
I'll tell you.
Putting your willy on the radiator?
No, God, no, don't do that. Whatever you do, take it. I'm not going to go into details, but trust me, don't do that. And don't try and have sex with a hot water bottle. Couples, feels good, but then it hurts a lot, and there's a lot of skin coming. Anyway, couples are saving cash on heating bills by turning up the temperature in the bedroom. So they're heating the bedroom? Oh, I see. We are going to all kinds of randy lengths.
Oh, no, don't say randy and lengths
Randy
together.
Lengths was my nickname at school. To beat the winter chill. Saucy lovers are putting on smoochy music by crooners, such as sexual heat.
Who wrote this? My gran. Smoochy music by crooners.
A guy called Anthony Thrower.
Oh,
It's in the
Anthony. Gosh.
Saucy lovers are putting on smoochy music by crooners, such as sexual healing singer Marvin Gaye.
Not a crooner.
To make steamy sex. To make
steamy
sex. I want to make steamy sex.
Dirty pervert.
Very much so.
Has this been put through like Google Translate or something? Because
the idea is most popular in Norwich.
Is that because of the knickers off ready when I get home?
Where 15% admitted to getting hot under the covers, compared with just 4% in seaside town Brighton. Because in Brighton, they like doing it in trees and in toilets and in just everywhere. Dirty place. Other ways of beating the cold include living in one room, leaving the oven door open, and lighting a fire. And 8% said they decided to exercise at home to get hot. The spokesman for this company that's done the survey, who I ain't going to mention, said, as temperatures fall, we found people go to great lengths, to saucy lengths, to some of them. Was it saucy lengths? Randy lengths. As temperatures fall, we found people go to randy lengths to avoid putting the heating on. What concerns us is that so many people are worried about the cost of heating their house. The survey also found 1 in 10 only turn their heating on because they're nagged by their flatmate, partner or child. Well,
none of them mentioned putting a cardigan on.
Exactly. Here's the thing, man. Put a cardigan on. My house is freezing and my boiler is knackered. So sometimes the boiler works and then sometimes it won't. And I'm getting a new boiler and all of that boring stuff. But my house is cold, so I put on a cardigan and I kind of jog up and down the stairs a little bit, warm up.
There's this amazing invention, blankets, I was going to say, an amazing invention called blankets.
Yeah.
So if you're not quite warm enough, you can just slip one of these things on. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Old-fashioned technology.
I've got the blankies going, man.
Yeah. Hot water bottles.
Marvin Gaye. There's a singer, great singer. Occasionally a great songwriter. Did he write Grapevine? I think he heard. No, he heard. I know he heard it through the grapevine. Did he write?
No, I don't think so.
I heard it through the grapevine. Honey, honey, yeah. He wrote Sexual Healing. Did Marvin Gaye? Was Marvin Gaye the writer of the song? I heard it through the grapevine. How far off the data do you think we are, Catherine?
Not far. Okay. I can
Okay.
do it now. It's coming through. It's just coming through now. If you just bear with me 1 second. Here it comes. It comes. It is.
Jesus, do you want me to type
Single
it?
by Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, we know he did it.
Songwriters Norman Whitfield, Barrett Strong.
All right, thank you. God, that took flipping ages. What's wrong? What's going on? But he's shot to death by his dad with the gun that Marvin Gaye bought him as a present. Why? I don't know. I do know why, because I've read a book about him and I've forgotten. I don't know why. 0344 499 1000. Let's turn this show into a Marvin Gaye dedication show. Why did his dad shoot him? Was his dad high on drugs? I know Marvin was high on drugs. There's a brilliant documentary, right, from about 1982 when Marvin Gaye was off his face on drugs, like really heavy into drugs. So to get clean, he went to Zeebrugge. In Belgium, is that? I think that's in Belgium. He went to Belgium, this really grim, very grey concrete fishing port. A horrible place. And just stayed with this guy who was a fan and his wife. And they helped get him clean. And then he started jogging and running and started writing sexual healing. And then he started doing concerts again. And he was clean from drugs. He was rehabilitated. And he went back to his dad, and his dad shot him. It's a strange old story, man.
Did you know about Here My Dear, the album Here My Dear?
Yep.
About the divorce. You know it then?
Yeah.
Right.
Go on, tell it. I've said this before. Go on, tell it. It's a great one.
So it's his 15th studio album.
Yeah.
And he wrote it about the fallout from his divorce from Anne Gordy, Berry Gordy's daughter, I'm going to say.
Why not? Berry Gordy's still alive. He's in his 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'd love to speak to that guy.
He knows some stories.
Didn't he?
So the idea was that she would get some, what was it, all the profits, half the profits?
All the profits of his next album.
Yeah, so he deliberately wrote something that he thought was below par called Here My Dear.
A sprawling double album that some people actually love, apparently.
Yeah, some people think it's some of his best work,
Yeah,
but they didn't at the time.
Yeah, it didn't sell, very bitter album. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Let's go to Sandy. Good evening, Sandy.
Good evening, how are you?
None of your business, Sandy. What have you got for us tonight?
You know how you talk about mental health and, obviously I've had my experiences with it.
Yes.
And you're also talking about healthy eating.
Well, yeah, me and Kath have cut out the meat for 3 or 4 or 5 days a week. We had a vegan meal tonight, which is very nice. We're trying to eat a little bit. I haven't had chocolate for over a week. Haven't had a latte. Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, I had ice cream at the weekend. Haven't had a latte for 10 days. I love my lattes. I've not had one for 10 days. So I'm trying to eat a little bit better. How does your colon feel, Catherine?
Fresh as a daisy.
I'd like to inspect it.
No, you wouldn't.
So yes, Sandy, we're changing our diet for a while and seeing what happens.
I just wanted to know from you what you think about alternative cures for depression. There's a lot of, with regards to Michael Pollan, he's been a dietitian and a healthy eater for a long time.
Yes.
But he's also very interested in mental science.
Yes.
And he did a podcast. It's quite interesting. You should listen to it sometime if you're into it.
Okay.
With Joe Rogan about psilocybin and
magic mushrooms.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the same way they're making weed into CBD.
Yeah.
They are now looking into ways that psilocybins, MDMA, LSD, and things like that can alter your mind in microdoses. If you're an alcoholic, if you're an addict, if you're an ex-smoker, for depression, for all kinds of things. And I wondered what you thought about that, and if that's something that had ever interested you.
I know that there were, I think there were 3 separate studies, certainly 2, maybe 3 separate studies that came out last year that certainly seemed to show that controlled usage of magic mushrooms specifically could, they described it as almost pressing a reset button on people's depression, and that it could help you. Because when you're tripping on mushrooms, you can get quite analytical about stuff, and it can help you work through issues that you may have, according to these genuine proper studies. These are proper studies, not, just some stoners getting around talking. And they can help, there seems to be some evidence that it helps lift the depression. I'm not aware of any scientific papers that suggest that LSD and MDMA, the active component in ecstasy, in the good ecstasy, I'm not aware of any scientific papers that say those things can help with depression, but I might be wrong.
I'm reading quite in fact, a fascinating book now. It's called Psychedelic Medicine.
Yes, by Captain Beefheart.
No, Richard Louis Miller and Dennis McKenna, quite a few people.
Yeah.
It's really interesting stuff, and I'm kind of in a quandary, and I think that I'd like to go on a guided... if I ever do anything like this, or if I ever go on an ayahuasca workshop, I'd like for it to be done by a guided shaman, because in previous experiences, when you're feeling down and you've got that paranoia thing in your stomach and you don't know what to do. What,
when you've taken acid or when you're straight?
No, when you're when you're straight and you
Yeah.
have that panicky feeling, I
Yeah.
cannot imagine
Anxiety.
even the tiniest microdose of anything to hallucinate that mood.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why... Well, okay. Yeah. Okay, here's the thing. The reason why people were suggesting magic mushrooms over LSD is because magic mushrooms are completely natural. They grow in the ground and it's a natural thing. And LSD is a chemical made in a laboratory, if you're lucky, right? And I'm going to be honest, I've taken both magic mushrooms and both LSD a long time ago. I'm not saying this to in any way encourage people to take drugs. This is my personal story. This is my experience, and all I can share is my experience. And after I took LSD, I had a great time on LSD, and after I took it, I was very... I felt very chemically. I felt slightly headachy. My eyes ached. My brain felt a bit funny. When I took magic mushrooms, once it wore off, I felt I was back to normal. There was no chemical residue, which is why I think these studies, and again, I'm not saying take these drugs. I'm just sharing my experience because we're having a grown-up conversation about drugs. I don't take drugs now, and I haven't for a long time. And you know, God willing, I will never take them again. But I think this is why these studies focused on psilocybin and magic mushrooms, because it's a natural thing in the same way that, you know, normal weed is a natural thing. Here's my suggestion to you, right? Don't take MDMA. What good is that going to do you, man? You're going to feel excellent for 10 hours. You're going to love everyone.
I don't like shit like that. I don't like burning. It's not worth the fun. But I have done mushrooms. I've found the same thing as you. They're happy, and when they're finished, they're finished.
Yeah.
There's no hangover.
Hangover. That's the right. There's a chemical hangover with the other drugs. Okay. Let's do some grown-up advice. I'm not telling you to take these things. I'm not telling you not to take these things. I can't encourage anyone to take drugs. I wouldn't want to encourage anyone to take drugs, right? But if you make the decision that you're going to take something like LSD, okay. What was that university that got in trouble recently for giving out very grown-up advice about drugs? And basically, it was, if you're going to take a strong chemical, take it with someone who knows what they're doing. That would be my suggestion to you, and people might call me out for that. But if you're going to take it...
Sheffield it was.
Sheffield, wasn't it? Got in terrible trouble for giving what I thought was really sensible, mature advice to people who are going to take drugs. If you're going to do it, Sandy... try and get some good stuff. Try and do it with someone who knows what they're doing.
How you felt, and if it was something that you'd ever looked into, because you've given up the venlafaxine and everything else, and I've given it up.
I can't take psychedelics. I can't take psychedelics. If I take a psychedelic, I'm screwed, and I'll be off doing cocaine a week later or an hour later. I can't do it. I'd love to. I'd love to take LSD and mushrooms. It'd be great fun. What a laugh! But I know that I can't. That if I do that, then I've kicked open that door, and suddenly cocaine and crystal and all these things come flying towards me, and I'm powerless to say no. So I have to say no to everything. Same reason I can't even have a shandy. I couldn't have a lager shandy because it would set off a chain of events in my head that would have me snorting cocaine in an hour's time.
Well, I hear you. I'm just looking into stuff like this. I do not drink anymore. I do not do drugs anymore, and now I don't smoke anymore. So I'm looking for something else.
Personally, I think the chemical-free way has got to be better for your mental health. In my personal opinion, let me rephrase that. I think the chemical-free way has got to be better for my mental health.
I also think that it's better for my mental health.
Okay.
But essentially, it's the one thing that I would say is that they are using it for any kind of addiction. But I guess you can't cure an addiction with a trigger.
No, you can't. The addiction thing is nonsense. You can't cure an addiction by giving someone acid. That is, and I know they've done experiments on that and with ecstasy and all of that. No, it don't work. You can't cure.
You know how you guys have got a rabbit hole?
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll crawl down this rabbit hole, I'll do the research, I'll phone you in a year's time if I'm still alive and let you know how it went.
All right. I have to say for legal reasons, I'm not in... Just to say again, because someone will pick me up and this bit of the show is going to be played in Ofcom's offices in about 2 months' time. Sandy, I am not in any way encouraging or suggesting that you take drugs. What you do is your own... You are a grown-up, responsible human being. You make your own decision. If you want to call us when you're tripping, that'll be fun. I'm joking. But you can't. Listen, you can call us any time. But I just have to make it clear that I'm not encouraging you to do what you've chosen to do. Okay?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a 42-year-old woman. I can handle my own decisions. I just thought it would be an interesting thing to bring up with you specifically.
Sandy, nice to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Noah's just reminded me of a great song by Loudon Wainwright. Thank you, Noah. This is great. Listen to this. This is what LSD does to you guys.
I had not taken acid for 12 years, but one night last summer I did. I was adrift in a bar room, acting like a jerk and a kid. I knew we were asking for trouble, and trouble was what we would get. 5 of us dropped in the girls' room, psychedelicized insane quintet. Well, that bathroom got crowded in no time. Our minds are all blown in one flash. Everyone in there got ugly. We exited out of there fast. Back in the bar, we were happy. No problem, feel great. Back in the bar, we were fine. Till Johnny turned into a Nazi. And Mary threw up all her wine. Well, in no time, we all were ejected. Soon we were out on the street. The sidewalk began to perspire. We had glass and dog shit at our feet. We went over to Mary's apartment to listen to the Grateful Dead. On the way there, we lost Johnny. He had opted for Bellevue instead.
And on it goes. Don't do drugs, kids. Loudon Wainwright is so good, man. 03444991000. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
03444991000, dear listener. If you're listening on your computer, if you're listening on an app, you might be able to get us on DAB now, where once we could not be heard, we can now be heard. They've put up some new transmitters. So if you couldn't find Talk Radio on your DAB radio before, go and do a deep tune, hold your button longer. I don't really know. Just Google the instructions how to do it. But there is a strong chance that you will be able to get Talk Radio pop up on your radio. If that don't work for you, there's always the Talk Radio app or talkradio.co.uk. 03444991000. It's the phone-in show where anything goes. You can call in about anything you want. Rami's on the line. Good evening, Rami.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, Rami. How are you doing?
Not bad, mate. Yeah, you just said to me, F off.
Yeah, did I?
You did, yeah, actually.
Did I actually?
I merely made a comment in it.
Yeah. You made a rude comment, and you're the guy on Twitter. You're Pharaoh Ram,
yeah,
66.
I'm Pharaoh Ram.
Yeah, you made a rude comment, and
it wasn't
I think.
Rude. Why would you say it's rude?
If you let me finish, I'll let you finish. That's very kind, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And then I'll let you speak. It's a conversation. I do have the power. Yeah. You said something that was rude and was dismissive of mental health.
How was it rude?
If you let me,
I didn't mention mental health.
If you let me finish, here's one thing you're going to hopefully get by the end of this phone call.
Yeah, sure. Educate me.
Manners. I'm going to educate you. Don't you worry about that. That's going to happen. I'm glad you're receptive.
Yeah, I'm very receptive.
Good. I'm glad you're receptive. Be prepared to receive, because I'm about to transmit. Okay.
I'm receiving, and
I'm transmitting. Transmission begins.
I'm not sure what innuendo means, but yeah, I'm with you. Go on.
You're not sure what innuendo means?
Yeah, I'm receptive. I'm listening.
In your endo?
Yeah, actually, I've listened to you, man, for 20 years.
Okay, well then then hopefully you've learned to shut. Then you've learned to shut up and listen.
In the world, I've listened to you.
Shut up and listen.
And
shut up and listen.
A lot of people love me.
Shut up and because of. Shut up and listen. You've just said another lie. A lot of people love me because of you.
F off.
Yes,
well, F off, man.
Yes, if you shut up.
All I said was why you presented your show as.
No, oh God, will you shut up?
Before it starts.
No, that's not. Will you shut up, you rude man?
Okay.
That's not what you said. That's not what you said. Here's the thing. I'm about to tell you why I told you to F off. If you shut up and receive. Are you ready to receive?
Shut up. I'm quiet. I'm not saying anything.
I can hear you. Right. Transmission begins here. You sent me a tweet that was... You sent me a tweet that was... You sent me a tweet that was...
third time now.
Okay, well, here's the thing. If you keep interrupting, I'm going to keep starting again.
I haven't interrupted. I'm not saying anything. Go on. I sent you a tweet. Done. We agreed on that.
Okay, we've agreed on that. Point 1, you sent me a tweet. Point 2, it was rude. Point 3, it was, I thought was negative towards mental health issues, which is something the show feels very strongly about. And point 4, it was wrong. It was based on a false premise. We found out in a later tweet. Your premise was false.
Okay.
So that's why I told you to F off. Let me read your tweet so the listener can judge to see if I'm right.
I have no idea why you brought into it mental, because I did not in any point. Maybe I said what I said that in the show I didn't listen to.
Here we go. Here we go. Let me read it out.
Give me a chance to talk. Why don't you give people a chance to talk? What is your problem? Why do you have to control everything that has to be said?
Because I don't like drunk callers.
I'm not drunk. I don't drink. I don't touch alcohol. Yes, I have my own depression. I have depression, but that's beside the point.
I'm sorry to hear that, brother. Let me read the tweet, and then people can see.
Please.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
And you just calm down a bit, man. Just stop getting so
calm.
angry. You're
I'm
very,
really
you're
calm.
very
You
angry.
said to me, F off. That's,
I told you, you were rude to me. I told you to F off. That's the natural. If you're going to say something that's rude, be prepared for the consequences. Consequences were you got told to F off, you snowflake, and you couldn't handle it. Here's your tweet. It says apropos nothing, okay? Apropos, I clicked on it to see what tweet it was linked to. It wasn't linked to any tweet. So apropos nothing.
I appreciate that.
I don't get it. This is your job. What's with the depressing attitude every day? Even I, die-hard fan, I love those movies, can't be bothered to listen now. A show advertised as depressing before you start show? Quit if you don't like it. Yes, a show. That's your job. Deal with it.
Can I talk?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. Ian, I've been listening to you for a long time, man. Long time.
I don't owe you anything.
No. I'm not saying that.
You owe me. You owe me.
You cut me off.
You owe me.
If you allow me to say 2 sentences...
You owe me for all the free entertainment I've given. You probably owe me like £5,000.
Perhaps I do, because I've had long journeys, travelling 800 miles, and you've kept me entertained. So I do owe you. So that's not the point.
So there was one tweet that you didn't like.
No. Can I talk? Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. Okay, all I'm trying to say is...
Have some coffee.
No, I'm fine. All I'm trying to say is, Ian, is that recently, can I be honest? I found that you have become very abrasive with people that are calling you.
What are you talking about, abrasive? That's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Not me.
What the hell are you talking about? I'm not abrasive with my callers.
You actually are.
No, I'm not. That's a lie. You take that back right now, boy.
So if you take what I said today and combine it with yesterday's show and the show a week ago, you are quite. Sometimes you have the mood where, oh man, this show's going to be shit. Oh, this show's crap.
Yeah,
I don't know why I bother.
Right.
I don't know what this night's about.
Hang on a minute. You've said four separate things, right? I never say I don't know why I bother. I never say that. Never said that.
I don't know. I'm just saying something. No. Means what you said.
No. You said that. You said that as though they were things that you said that and put those in quotation marks as though they were things I'd actually said. I've never said I don't know why I bother. I know why I bother. It's because I've got a mortgage and I've got kids to feed. Right?
Yeah, of course.
I have said the show is shit and crap before because sometimes the show doesn't work. And I get frustrated, and
But
I'm allowed to
then-
call
and then
myself
you
out.
say it, but then the whole night will be about it. Like yesterday, for example.
Well, now the whole night is about your tweet.
Let's make it last night.
Okay, let's do
My
last night.
tweet was based on last night.
No, it wasn't. Your tweet was based on Catherine's tweet.
Yeah,
Which did
was
not say,
following-
which did not say that the show. It said the show was puerile
No,
because
no,
we
all I
were
was
told
trying
we
to
were
point
told
out
off.
it was, oh no, this is not another show like last night.
No,
Last
we said
night
Catherine's.
were-
Will you listen? Shut
you
up.
were really in a bad mood yesterday.
Shut up, man. Your tweet was in response to Catherine's tweet, who said, "Look out, tonight's show's probably going to be puerile."
Yeah,
right?
and it was
Hopefully.
Hang on. In response to Catherine's tweet was in response to the whole show yesterday.
No, it wasn't. Hang on. Everyone, just calm down. Let me, please.
I'm very calm.
No,
man.
you're
I've
not.
got no
You're not.
problems.
Shut up. You said
Okay.
that tweet was in response to Catherine's tweet about the show being puerile.
Yeah,
right. But puerile doesn't mean depressing. Puerile doesn't mean puerile. Listen, one thing at a time. We've got all night. No, for the sake of intelligence, doesn't mean anything.
What happened yesterday?
Right. We'll deal with yesterday in a minute. You then sent another tweet saying that your tweet talking about depressing was to do with Catherine's tweet, which said the show was going to be puerile tonight. Right. You said that. Puerile. Let me finish a point, you dick. Puerile.
Include yesterday.
No, we'll get to yesterday in a second. We'll do it. We've got all night to do this, man. Puerile does.
Unless you like with your mute button, cut me off, whatever. You have the power. Go on.
Well, listen, I'll keep you on as long as I think this is entertaining for the listener, dude. That's my job.
Yeah, of course. I get that. Of course. Appreciate that.
Puerile does not mean depressing. Do you know what puerile means?
Can mean many things.
Well, no, it doesn't. It means one thing. What does puerile mean?
I'm not really sure what Kath meant there.
Okay, right. Well, then, before you start calling us out over tweets that don't mean what you think they mean, get a bloody thesaurus or a dictionary. Right, so the Kath's tweet has gone to one side because you were completely wrong about that. What was wrong with yesterday's show? You're an idiot. I know, well done, we're learning. What was yesterday's show? What was wrong with yesterday's
Come on,
show?
Ian. Please, Ian. Please, Ian.
What was wrong with yesterday's
show?
show?
Really, man, I love listening to you, but you really... the whole show was, oh, man, why do we bother with this?
No, I never say that. I never say, why do we bother with this?
I might not be saying word for
Well, then,
word
if you're
what
gonna quote me, quote words I've actually said, please.
To be honest, I can't remember exactly
Well,
what
there you go, man. Maybe when you
just trying to
sober
give you
up, you will.
Why are you trying to... you know what I mean, and you're trying to ignore what I'm saying.
I don't know what you mean. You're trying... Instead of
You
me...
don't understand. You don't
don't.
really recall what you said last night.
I don't...
You were the whole show and the whole thing was kind of like...
Remy, if you've been listening to the show for 20 years, which is pretty impossible, as I've not been doing radio for 20 years...
about 15, 16 years or
Okay,
whatever.
well then you will know...
Before that.
You will know... I don't remember what we happened on the show before. There's kind of a common thread. I don't remember what happened on the show before. Hang on a minute.
Yeah, go on.
Right, Catherine.
I do, because I podcast it. It was quite a jolly show last night. I don't know what you're talking about, Remy, so maybe you can give us an example.
Was it last night or night before?
Right, well, here we go. Remy, you've just blown it. You've just blown it, buddy. You don't even know what...
Just what I'm trying to say is...
You don't even know what show you are talking about, man. You're slurring your words.
It was yesterday, but maybe I'm caught out by a night. All I'm trying to say... I drive all night.
God, stay off the roads.
And I look forward to it, and I'm very sad when the show
All right, you
ends.
haven't liked the last 3 or 4 shows. If you've been listening for 20 years, then you'll know that you'll like tomorrow's show. And if you don't like tomorrow's show, you'll love Friday's show. And if you don't love Friday's show, you're going to go nuts for Monday's show.
Man, it's not nice for me to be saying what I'm saying, but I'm just being honest. I'm being very honest.
Okay,
Can I just say one point? Is sometimes you have this mood where... Man, what's the point of the show? Why are people going to call me? What's the point?
I never say... You keep saying that I say, what is the point of this show? There is no point to this show. I know that. So why would I say... The point is I get paid and I pay my mortgage and I feed my kids. Please stop saying that I come on air and go, oh, what's the point of the show? Because I don't say that, Rami. Try again. And this time, try and quote me. Try and say something I've actually said.
What for verbatim? I can't do that.
Well, then stop talking
you are very
rubbish.
dismissive, and then every
Of the
person
show?
that calls you, every person that calls you, attack them, and then there's something.
No, I don't. I don't attack every person that calls them because then I'd have no
I'm
callers.
telling you what happens, and
You're not.
don't want to accept it
Because it's not true. It's not true, Rami. You're drunk and you're rambling. I can't understand what you're saying, and you're fantasising. You're saying things that aren't true. I've got so many tricks up. Listen, some of the shows recently have been great, and some haven't been great, and that's just the way it is at the moment. We're in
every night. It's hard.
Exactly. Me and Catherine are doing 15 minutes of 15 hours of improvised comedy every single week. If you tell me someone else who's doing 15 hours of improvised comedy a week, tell me someone else, right?
It's bloody hard.
It's bloody hard. And at the moment, I feel that we're.
You've chosen.
It's the career I've chosen, and I work bloody hard at it. And do you know what? I'm good at it. When it works, I'm one of the best. I know that.
You are one of the best.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So here's the thing, man. If you really are a lifelong die-hard fan, suck up the fact that you don't like the shows at the moment and either switch off and come back in a few months or just suffer it and go through it or just stop listening. Don't send me snide little tweets.
I'll carry on listening. I like listening to you. And actually, I'm amazed that I called you because I don't usually call anybody. So I'm going to call you.
Well, I'm glad you called me as well. But I think, I think you're wrong on this one, man. But now here's the thing. You know what's going to happen now, right? I'm now going to go.
You've blocked me. You've done everything. Yes, I get that.
No. I blocked you on Twitter. You're welcome to call the show anytime you want.
Yeah, I've not tweeted you before, so I'm not bothered.
Okay. Well, listen. Can I finish a point?
After whatever it was last night, I was quiet.
Okay, that's great. Whatever.
Yeah, in my heart, I'm just saying, come on, Iain, man.
Right. Well, you know
Don't
what's
do that
good.
again.
All right.
Rami,
shut up.
Katie and what she said.
Who is Katie?
Oh, no, it's not going to be one of those nights.
Who is Katie?
Kathy, sorry.
Who's Kathy? You don't even listen. You don't know the name of the person that presents the show with me. And you claim to be a fan?
Kath.
Right, here's the thing. So you know what I'm going to do now, don't you?
You're going to do something. I'm going to unblock me or something.
No, I'm not going to unblock you. You're a dick. I don't want you poisoning my timeline. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carry this phone call around with me for the next 4 days.
Cool.
Right? No, not cool. Because I'm now going to be in bed at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning going, Jesus. Maybe the show isn't working. Maybe Rami was right and the show isn't working. Oh, God. So I'm going to have an anxiety attack round this phone call.
Don't do that to me.
No, I'm not doing it to you. I'm doing it to me.
That's not right.
But that's what's going to happen. So you need to think about... Listen, your tweet wasn't constructive. It was critical, which is fine.
Man, you're a professional. Come on, you can't take... You're not going to take things like this. You did it yesterday. Okay, wait a minute. What day was a day that you said to callers, I am not your friend? That was yesterday, wasn't it?
I'm not the caller's friends. I'm not your friend.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know me. I don't know you. When was that?
What's wrong? Well, I don't know. Yesterday or the day before. But
It was last night.
But what's that got to do with anything? I'm not the caller's friends. Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's not personal. This whole thing is a job. It's blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah. When was that? That was last night.
Who cares?
So
It was in the last 2 days, right? So what is your point about that? That was a really good bit of radio.
So that is the night I'm talking about.
Right, so what was your problem? All right, we've got the night! For Christ's sake, you dumbass! We've got the night!
Thank you.
What has that bit got to do with anything? That was a good bit of honest radio.
From that night, you were very dismissive and negative about the whole situation.
No, I wasn't, no. I was being honest and I was protecting a
honest is fine, but I'm not saying you're dishonest.
How many awards have you won? I've won loads of awards. You've not won any awards.
Can I ask a question? Remy,
you can try and get a word in there.
Do you remember, Remy, the context of the comment that he made?
Of course he doesn't.
There?
He's pissed.
Because what was happening was someone was ringing up and taking Iain and using him instead of going to a counsellor or someone who could help him professionally. Which is why Iain was spelling out the fact that he could not take responsibility for people that you don't know him.
Yeah, I respect that, but then the rest of the show was quite down.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't, Remy.
Okay.
What's going on with you, man? What's caused you to get... Can I ask a question? Have you got, like, MS or something? It's a serious question.
MS? No, I don't have MS.
Have you got a neurological condition?
No, just depression like anybody else. And
Okay, well, have you've been drinking tonight then? Because you're slurring your words, man. You're slurring your words. That's why I was hesitating slightly, because I'll never forget when I was 14 and my mum's friend phoned up for my mum, and I went, Mum, there's a drunk woman on the phone, and she had MS, right? So I'm always a little bit careful. But if you've not got a neurological condition, you're drunk, man. Because you're slurring your words.
I haven't drunk, smoked anything.
Well, then you need to go and see a neurologist, because you're slurring your words terribly, man. You sound pissed. You sound drunk.
Okay.
What I want to know is what has happened to you today that's got you so angry.
Nothing. It was really just an innocent comment I made on
It wasn't. It was mean.
I actually didn't expect anybody to respond to my tweet.
That's the problem. That's the problem with you.
Like the other day.
That's the problem with you. That's the problem with you and everyone on Twitter, which is why I think the government should close Twitter down.
Ian, can I say something?
Is that people? When I finish the point, you can.
I love your intelligence.
Yeah, it's great.
I love the way you approach shows. I love the way you
approach shows in a sexy way.
No, not that way.
Sexy.
I'm just saying.
People like you don't. Think.
shows.
Here's the thing. The thing I said yesterday about me not being real to people.
You are one of the best.
Shut up, man. Shut up. You're a boring drunk. Shut up. Shut up. You're a boring.
My sister loves you. My sister doesn't even live in this.
I've done your sister.
Don't.
Shut up, you boring drunk, and listen. Right. I know why you're upset. I've got it. Because the speech I made yesterday about you, the listener, not knowing me, and us not being friends, and me not being real to you, that hit home with you. That's why you sent that tweet, because to you, I am not a real person, and you think that you can say anything you want to people in the media, and you won't get picked up on it. Well, I'm afraid you can't. You got picked up on it. Actually, I'm right. I'm the rightest guy there is.
It was in the middle of the whole atmosphere of the show. Was in that kind of aspect that it was. This is just my job. I just do what I do. It was kind of weird. It was negative, and I'm just saying it wasn't. How can I say it?
I don't know, mate, because you're saying it through a bottle of beer.
It wasn't your usual Ian, not the usual Ian we know. That's all I'm trying to say.
You don't know me, but this is, and that's the point. All right, Remy, I'm getting bored now, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, cool. All right, nice. I've done.
Nice, cool, nice. Sorry, I just wanted to. I didn't want to. I just wanted to focus on that. But thank you, Manny. Stay there. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
03444991000. Exciting news this Friday at 9 p.m. on BBC 4. They're showing the David Cassidy documentary that I've been trying to see for ages. It's like called His Last Session or something. And I think it's the documentary that's got a phone call. There's a recording of a phone call where he says, I haven't got dementia. I was just pissed. I think it's that one. I love a bit of David Cassidy, and I can't wait to see that. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio. You can, by the way, you can call in about anything you want. If you want to phone in and say the show's no good, you can. As long as you... It would be better if you had a suggestion to improve it. You know, I'm always open to that. And I kind of get some of what Rami was saying. I don't think the show's been classic like the last few weeks. I don't think it's classic period late night alternative. And I think there's been a couple of flat shows, but I think there's been some good shows. I think there's been some strong shows.
A nice little roll.
Yeah,
I think
all right.
There's something else going on there, and it's got very little to do with us.
Yeah, well, OK, Rami, you're very welcome to call again anytime you want, brother. 03444991000. Let's find out if Manny's still got a job. Good evening, Manny.
Good evening, young man. Good evening, young lady.
Hey. Manny's got a job now. Have you still got your job?
Yes, man.
Oh, buddy, well done, man. How's long? That's got to be like, what's that, a couple of months now? 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that?
It's just over 7.
There we go, beautiful. Oh, well done, I'm really chuffed for you. Not a few quid for Christmas?
Yep.
Oh, we go. Oh, but hang on a minute.
No whiskey.
No whiskey, no whiskey. No whiskey, no child. No whiskey, no child.
No vodka.
No vodka, no child.
Nope.
Any gin?
Plenty tea.
Plenty tea. Baisahan. Pani hair.
How are you?
Tea mit doot. None of your business, dude.
Okay. How are you, Kath?
I'm all right.
Good.
It's nice to hear from you. So you happy?
Very, very happy.
There you go.
Very happy. She did phone me the other day, that lady from the Birmingham Vision.
Did she? To say what?
Yeah, she just asked me how I was going and if I wanted to still, go and see them. I said, not yet.
Oh, that's
Maybe
good, though.
down.
That's good that door is open.
Yeah. She goes, you can give you some more skills, some different skills.
Here's the skill that I want you to get. Have you heard about this Batman, the blind man who's Batman? Have you heard this?
Nope.
Right, have you heard this? This is great. There's a documentary, right? It's this guy who's blind, but he can see by doing the same thing as a bat, by going... He clicks, right? And the clicks... Like that.
Just like that, man.
But the clicks bounce off. So he does it while he's turning his head. So the clicks bounce off things, and he can hear the echo of the click. And using that echo and how the sound hits things, he can build up a picture in his mind of what's around him.
Right.
And he can navigate around places using this thing. And there was a great documentary maybe a year or two ago on BBC, on Radio 4, I think. And he came over, he's American, he came over here, and I think he taught like a 10-year-old Scottish lad who was blind. It was like, is this technique universal? Can this guy teach it? And he taught it to like a 10-year-old kid. And the first bit is him and this kid going... And by the end of it, the kid could, in inverted commas, see. He builds up a picture in his head of what's going on around him.
Why am I getting visions of your wife, Manny, going, I don't know what he's doing now. I mean, he's just making noises.
But the thing is, Ian.
Yeah.
Ian.
Yeah.
I can see, the light, right? I can see light, right?
Yeah.
A bit of light. I can see when a light bulb's on, I can see it. I can't see a person's face or the body. I can make out a bit of the shape.
Is it true that if you touch a woman's face with your penis, you can see it?
Oh.
It's got to be worth a try, Manny.
No, it's silly. So I go mostly to the places where I've been before, if you understand. Like imagine my living room, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Even when we've changed the furniture, we've left everything where it was from when I could see.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So, you've got that picture in your head.
Yeah, you remember.
Yes, mate. You use your memory.
Yeah. Even when I go, say, to the local town.
Yes, places. Yes.
I'll go there.
Yes, places. Talk about places.
I roughly know where to go because you've got that map in your head.
Yes.
If you understand.
Yes. You're using your memory.
You have to use your initiative as well.
Oh, it's initiative. I thought it was memory.
Because I'll tell you a quick thing.
Well,
when
I don't believe that.
I was going to... Hang on.
Huh?
I was... this chap came to see me when I first lost my sight.
Yes.
For a guide dog. But I didn't want a guide dog. Anyway, he says, I'm going to see a lady about a guide dog. She asked me a question. She said, if I ask for a dog to take me to Asda, will he take me to Asda?
Yeah.
Or will he take me to the post office?
Yeah.
Well, like a dog taxi.
You've got to sort of know the way where you go. Left, right, here, there. Blah, blah,
So
blah.
you've got to know the way. The dog doesn't know the way.
Doesn't know the way.
Oh. You might as well get like a big track or something and program that. Oh, I thought the dog knew they say, take me to post office.
No, the dog will stop at the
Take me to Offie. I want vodka.
Anyway,
I want whiskey.
Why don't they make...
Robot dogs.
No.
Why don't they give you... That's what they should do. They should give you criminals and sex offenders as your guide dogs. Get sex offenders to act as guide dogs for the blind.
I'm disabled. Get me out of here.
Oh, OK. I see what you did there. Listen to this. Hang on a minute. Listen to this. Hang on.
What do you think of that?
I think it's terrible. Stay there. Listen to this. Listen, it's him.
I am a man who uses the techniques of a bat to navigate. And
he's riding a bike.
I have no recollection of ever having seen. So we have a structure here that has a roof. A pavilion. I got my first bicycle when I was 6.
He's riding a bike.
Go hiking alone in places I don't know. I've traveled to nearly 40 countries. I learned at a very early age that when I click my tongue, I get feedback from the environment all around me. It does not have the degree of definition that is available to vision, but it does have contour, it does have dimension, size, positions of things, layouts of things, and it also has information about texture and density. This tree is a total oddball in terms of its shape. So it starts out quite low, and then as you approach it, it quickly comes up, but it doesn't ever get very tall. Anyone can improve their ability to echolocate. My brain isn't special. This isn't something unique to my brain. It isn't.
Goes on and on. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I heard Manny practicing.
Go on, Manny, do it. Echolocate.
I've got my missus. I think either I'm pissed or I'm on the wacky Becky.
Either that guy is lying. He's lying about one thing, right?
What,
he can either
peeping?
do it, right? Yeah, he can either see, or he can't really see. He can't really do this thing. But his friends and family are too embarrassed to go. What are you talking about? Yes, you're in a pavilion now. Just say he's in a pavilion. You're in a pavilion now.
I think you can see like probably about 50-60%.
I think
because everybody would be doing that, wouldn't they, Ian? Lee. Ian.
Okay.
Why don't you like your name?
What?
Why don't you like your name? Where's Alan Caddy? Can you open it
Okay,
up?
now you're starting to ramble, so I'm going to cut you off. Goodbye.
No.
Yes. Yes. I'm suddenly fired off in different tangents. 0344 499 1000. Guys, stay there. You'll be the first caller of the last hour of the show.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
How does it feel running around, round, round? How does it feel watching from upside down? 'Cause many years from now there will be new sensations and new temptations. How does it feel? How does it feel right at the start? And how does it feel when you are thrown apart? 'Cause many years from now there will be new relations and new frustrations. How does it feel? Oh, do you know what it's like?
Next Friday, Dave Hill is going to be sat there. Boyley's going to be sat there, and we're going to be staring. Going, it's Dave Hill from Slade. And this is a great song. This is from Slade in Flame. This is the single you've got, isn't it?
Yes.
Bring it in, man. I love it when they have brass. There we go. What an ending. The flute. Oh, dirty. I think that was a bit of a flop for them because it was no. Come on, feel. It wasn't a heavy rocker.
A party stomper.
Yeah, the film almost killed the band, I think. Great film, great band, Slade. 03444991000 is the phone number. Why don't people grow some balls? Eddie Christie says, what the hell was that? Pharaoh66 had a lot of genuine points about you not giving anyone a chance to speak, butting in and being offensive to callers, all of which you did to him. That was really offensive. That was the joke. That's the joke. As was the MS comment. That wasn't offensive at all. How dare you? How dare you? How
That
dare
was an
you?
anecdote about a mistake you had made in the past and didn't want to make again.
Yeah.
How's that offensive?
I was 14 years old, and I said to my mum, there's a drunk woman on the phone for you. And my mum very graciously took the call, and she came back and she went, that wasn't a drunk woman, that was my friend Anne, and Anne has got this thing called MS. And then, actually, it was probably younger than that, probably 12 or 13, because then a few years later, my mum got diagnosed with MS. So it wasn't an offensive statement. It was me showing you how I learned. Then he goes on next week. I have MS. Okay, fine. Well, I can understand why you're a little bit knee-jerk reaction when you hear MS mentioned. But you listen again. It wasn't an offensive story. And I'm a carer for my mother. All I want to do at the end of the night is listen to a fun talk show. Not listen to you moan like F about how S your life is. Really, you're paid to sit there and entertain. Do your effing job, eh? Well, I replied, yes, master. Then I replied, well, listen, I hope your MS is as stable as it can be, and I hope your mum's all right. But if you don't dig the show, go and listen to Duncan Barks. And I gave him the link to listen to Duncan Barks. But here's the thing. I'm going to say it. Don't speak to me like that. Don't speak to me like a piece of shit. Don't speak to me like that. How dare you speak to me like that? Because I am not providing you with the light-hearted, fun entertainment that you want. How dare you speak to me like that, Eddie Christie and anybody on Twitter? What gives you the right to speak to me or any other human being like that because we're not doing your bidding? What gives you the right? Apologise now. This is the problem with Twitter, and I joke about it, but I really think we should switch it off. The Twitter experiment has failed, right? Because it gives people like that guy who's had a tough day. He's got a terrible illness. I know a lot about MS. I know a lot about caring for your mum as well. He's had a lousy day. All right, fine. But doesn't give you the right to speak to anybody like that, particularly not somebody who's just I'm trying to do a fun show. You didn't like 10 minutes in the show. It doesn't give you the right to tell me to do my effing job and treat me like a piece of SH1T. How dare you?
Also, it's not really conducive to fun times, is it? Speaking to someone like that. Now dance!
But this is what Twitter does, right?
Yeah.
It means everybody now feels entitled to tell everybody else to F off, that they're SH1T, that they're lazy, that they're not you're not doing it the way I like it, so you are wrong. Listen, you've had a crap day. I'm really, really sorry, man. But do you know what? You're making my day crap by talking to me like a piece of dirt. I'm not a piece of dirt, all right? I'm a flipping brilliant dad. At times, I'm a brilliant radio presenter. At times, I'm an okay radio presenter. But I'm a bloke earning my living, trying to make my way in the world. And you're talking to me like that? You think it's appropriate to talk to anyone like that? Because they're not giving you the light-hearted bit of fun at the end of the night that you wanted because your life sucks? And that's what it is. You're having a go at me because your life is not the life you wanted. Well, that's okay. I get it. Don't ever go at me about it. And also, don't play depression top trumps or crappy life top trumps. Don't do my life is worse than yours. It's different. It's different. You don't know it's worse. on initial hearing, it sounds worse. Yeah, I'll give you that. But you don't know it's worse. And also, different people have different levels of what they can take. So don't make judgments like that, Eddie. And apology would be nice, but I'm not going to hold you to it. The recommendation of you listening to Duncan Barks is a genuine one. He's a cracking broadcaster. I like him. I find him a little bit straight, but I like him. I listen to him from time to time. I have done over the years. Maybe you'll enjoy that more, man. I bet you won't call him a piece of SH1T and tell him to do his effing job. But you feel you can speak to me like that. That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. And in my replies, I've shown you respect. And I would like the same from you. Okay? Thanks very much. Let's go to Guy. Good evening, Guy!
Evening, boss. Missed you lots.
What do you mean, miss me lots? Where have I been?
No, it's me who's been.
Prison.
Not you.
Prison.
No. You've always been there. Fair enough. Fair play to you. Anyway, got a question. You know when you have photographs and someone's got a greasy forehead?
Yep.
How do you get rid of it? How do you? I know you can't get rid of it afterwards, but can't you just sort it out beforehand, or is it just like a greasy forehead and that's it?
Yeah, it's just it, mate. You're that's just it. You're stuck with a greasy forehead. There's nothing you could do. I suppose you could. Wipe it.
Well, it's not me. It was just my mate who had a photograph taken recently.
I wouldn't take photographs of him.
No, but it wasn't my choice. I didn't take it.
Well, I would refuse to stand. Did you know he had a greasy forehead?
No, it was a she, and that's even worse somehow.
I know what you mean about the greasy forehead on males and females, men and women, as we often refer to them these days.
Yeah, but when you think you've had a good picture and then all of a sudden it comes back and you go, oh, look at me greasy forehead.
Well, but it's not your greasy forehead.
Well, it's not mine, but it was hers, unfortunately.
I think you need to just get over looks. Looks aren't that important. It's not about the grease outside. It's about the grease inside.
What about a greasy nose?
I mean, yeah, well, but that's her issue. Why are you judging her on how she looks?
I'm not judging her. No, I'm just saying it's unfortunate when it happens in a photograph.
You should be grateful that anyone. You should be grateful that any woman wants to have a picture taken with a slob like you. Imagine, I would refuse. I would say, yeah, take a picture, but get rid of this guy called Guy. Get rid of him. I don't want a picture of him. He's horrible.
Just another guy. I used to go to school with girls who scraped their nose grease off with their fingernails and wiped it on each other's faces.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No,
I did. Just for a laugh, they did it. Just to make each other laugh in class. Brilliant, isn't it? 16-year-olds.
Okay.
Idiots.
All right, thanks for the call, Guy. I've got literally no idea what that was about. Okay, thank you. Pixel Rated is listening and is having a tough old night. Good evening, Pixel. Big up yourself. Okay, maybe for the last 45 minutes we can get some decent calls. I don't know if that is that too much to ask? Can we get some decent calls? And not just weirdos and a-holes. 03.
Is it full moon? It's a full moon, isn't it?
No, it's not quite.
Well, it's coming and you can feel it.
I saw it on the way in. I thought, is that? No, it's not quite fully yet. We're getting there. We're getting there.
God help us.
We're building up to it. 0344. I'm going to take Twitter off my phone again.
Of course you are.
Get lost. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
But now what's going on? Who's this Ant guy? I recognise this Ant guy. Totally agree it was inappropriate. Justifying it by saying it was because of an experience when he was 14 is ridiculous.
What?
He was being sarcastic when asking if the guy had MS, and in turn bringing shame on himself on the show.
What? God. Oh, this is trolling now, isn't it? They're joking.
No, it wasn't. I'm not. I don't have to justify it. And you're a dick. You're a dick. You're all dicks. Yeah, you're right. I was taking the piss out of the guy when I asked if he had MS. I was bullying. I was teasing him because multiple sclerosis makes me laugh. I love it. I love it. I think it's the funniest disease, and watching it destroy my mum for the last 28 years has been wiping her ass for the last 15 years has been nothing but a laugh riot. And that's why I asked that guy if he had MS, because I think it's a funny disease that's stolen my mother's life. I think it's funny. Yes, man. You got me, Ant. Fair play, Antsky. You got me. You got me. You're right. I was bringing it up because it's a funny disease, man. It's the funny disease. It's the funny neurological degenerative disease. It's funnier than Parkinson's, anyway, I find. A lot of laughs to be had with MS. You absolute prune. Let's go to Steve. Good evening, Steve.
Oh, hi, Ian.
Hello, Steve.
Hi. I heard you were talking about greasy foreheads.
Okay, yep.
But,
Let's go to Alistair. Good evening, Alistair.
Evening.
Evening. What you got?
Well, just wanted to promote American Movie again for your picture show.
Yeah, because hardly anyone's coming to it, you suckers. We've got 35 people coming. And we may have... I texted him, he didn't get back to me. We may have the director on. I did send him a text, and he didn't... He said, text me. Let me email him. You talk to Catherine while I email...
Go on, Alistair, because I've not seen it, so it's a good one.
Chris Smith, is his name?
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, I would have come myself, but I'm sort of up north,
right,
too far away. But it is absolutely... It's funny and sad at the same time. And when you've got a documentary, which is like a bit of a roller coaster, it really sort of grabs your emotions and gets you into it in a big way. And I think anybody who came to your event would actually really enjoy it, especially with yourselves hosting. I think it will be absolutely fabulous.
IanLee.com/event. There's still loads of tickets left because we've sold hardly any. We've sold 35, which will be a nice
But they'll
event.
be the hardcore.
Yes, mate. You know, but then again, 12 of them won't turn up.
Well...
Hey, Gary Smart. You know Gary Smart, the guy
Yes.
that sent me a lovely care package this week, today, of his film, a book, and a couple of books. And
Good
some stuff.
lad.
Yeah, good lad. Thank you, Alistair. IanLee.com/event. £8 see a movie. We might have the director of the movie who also directed the recent Andy Kaufman, Jim Carrey documentary. Fingers crossed. I've been texting him. We might have him joining us via Skype if he's free, but I can't put that on the kind of advert because we might not have him. Either way, there's going to be prizes. There's going to be a song from me and Kath. We'll do something.
Ian?
Yeah?
I was going to ask you as well. I saw a documentary today about Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
By the Beatles, yeah, I know it, yeah.
Which was, it was the one that Howard Goodall did, which he took each track and sort of, sort of picked it out. I wondered if you'd seen that on BBC 4.
No. Oh, is that the one where they play Penny Lane and he says there are 4 pianos on it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Paul McCartney was watching that documentary, right? Paul McCartney's watching a documentary about Strawberry Fields, and the guy goes, well, now we're going to take apart the tracks of Penny Lane, and if you notice, there are 4 pianos. And Paul McCartney tells the story. I was watching that thinking, oh, no, we only have 1 piano on that. Bloody hell, guys, we have 4 pianos on Penny Lane. I don't remember that. So that's a good documentary. I haven't seen it, Alistair. I'm going to check it out. That's happening. Thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. The switchboard is now empty. Switchboard is empty. So there we have it. Let's go and have it. What have I written down here? Hang on a second. Here we go. Listen to this. Ice and soda served at pub chains was contaminated with fecal bacteria. That's poo, yeah? Huh?
Yes.
Bacteria was found at Harvester, Hungry Horse, J.D. Wetherspoon, Slug and Lettuce, and Marston's 2 for 1 last month. Undercover reporters for Watchdog took samples. The Chartered Institute of Environmental Health said it may be a health risk and is a concern. Of course it's a health risk. It's poo on ice. Ice poo. Ice poo-poo. Slug and Lettuce immediately investigated. Hungry Horse said its dispensers have been deep cleaned. And staff at 2 for 1 are being retrained. What, on how to wipe their arses and then wash their hands? Wetherspoon said it had taken on board the finding of the report, but Harvester disputed the science used by Watchdog. Good for Harvester. Harvester coming out and fighting. That's what we want. Coming out and fighting. As most of us struggle with our Christmas shopping budget, along comes Gwyneth Paltrow with her essential festive gift guide. Never knowingly in touch with reality, that's a little bit harsh. She invented love eggs. Love Island. The multi-millionaire Hollywood star and her team have tracked the most tasteless, thoughtful gifts for your loved ones.
No. I looked at this the other day. You know that banana lamp?
Well, hang on a minute. I got
that was on there, but they've looked on her ridiculous gifts list. They're supposed to be ridiculous.
Okay. Such as a portable bidet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I saw the portable bidet.
Yeah.
Though her website Goot is for once having a little laugh at itself, calling its list the ridiculous but awesome gift guide. These are some of the ideas for people who've perhaps won the lotto. I think that means the lottery. So, king-size 24-carat gold rolling papers. Yes, mate. We're gonna spark up the gold. £43. This is the gift for the person who literally has money to burn. You can treat the smoker in your life to gold rolling papers. What was this? I quite like the banana lamp.
I thought it was fun.
Banana lamp, £270. Perhaps your loved one loves bananas. Or maybe they have I love a good banana. Bananas are only good for like 12 minutes. They're either too hard and then they go black.
And don't bang it because you've had it.
But as the website says, these lamps will make any room look memorable. They feature golden peels and come in 3 separate styles. You can have a whole collection of lamps that look like fruit. This is a good one. This I would do. Balloon expedition over Mount Everest, £4,500. That I would do. That is a great trip. That is great. I went up in a hot air balloon. It cost me £150 when I was in Morocco. It was the only part of the holiday that was worth doing. It was stunning. I'd go over Everest. Why on earth would anyone go to the effort of climbing the world's highest mountain when you can just fly over it in a hot air balloon? That sounds perfect to me. And if you have enough cash, you can do exactly that. Veteran hot air balloon pilot Chris Dewhurst will take you soaring to 30,000 feet for a spectacular view of Everest and the Himalayas. Passengers do have to commit to a month of physical and skills training before the flight. What? Why? What are you doing is standing in a basket that's getting lifted up.
Isn't it going to get... doesn't the air get thin, though?
Yeah, well, you just take one of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
That'll be what it is. That's the training.
Hermes surfboard, $6,000. Have you ever tried surfing?
No.
It's fun, but I couldn't stand up on it. I could kneel in and come in on my knees, and it was a rush. And you could see why people get into it, but no, it was.
I've never done surfing. I've done the big banana.
Eddie says, I think you are the one who should apologise.
Oh, okay.
You do not know what it feels like to have MS. You have your job and your life taken away from you. I don't know what it feels like. We're playing disease top trumps. You're right. I don't know what it feels like. Sorry for the swearing, and if I offended you, but you have never made me as angry as I am just now. I suggest you get out there and get life. If I made you angry... Oh, dear. Let's play the trails.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
I've forgotten your name already, excuse me.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. I'm not going to argue. I've
No,
done
stop.
the last three. I'm not going to argue with the guys. What you got?
Okay, here we go. You know that cigar-shaped thing that they reckon was probably an alien craft ages ago?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was like a giant meteor that kind of flew around the Earth and changed speed and things, yes.
They've seen the same thing or another thing that looks like it over California.
This is awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is awesome. Go on.
So, one particular clip has gone viral. It appeared to show a mysterious object in the skies. It was someone filming the California wildfire, and then in the sky they see this thing. As the camera zooms in further, a long black object appears to be hovering in the background. I mean, it's a stretch, but the object moves away slowly from the devastation of the fire as the news anchor discusses the condition of the forest. In the description of the YouTube clip on conspiracy site Disclosed TV, the user wrote, "In this clip we can see what looks like a cigar-shaped craft using the smoke as cover. The video's already received just under 30,000 views in the past 5 days." Some claim the object may have been a blimp, as they're often seen in the sky around the Westlake Village area, but this theory was quickly quashed by a local who said they'd never seen it moving that fast.
Well, no, this is not. This is different to the one they saw, because the other one was like miles out in space.
Deep space, yeah.
Yeah.
Another suggested it was in fact a vessel passing on a lake behind the fire. More than 1,000 people have been... and then it goes on to talk about the fires. But, yeah, look, they've got the video.
Well, you can never tell anything from those videos.
No.
You can never tell anything from those
No. And as we know, YouTube is not a documentary.
No, not at all. 0344. You totally killed the vibe, you have, angry guy. You're a vibe vampire. Come and suck on my vibe.
Here's another thing.
Come and suck on my vibe and suck my vibe off. That's what you've done, you absolute bell cheese. I've not said anything remotely offensive tonight. I could. I might do in a minute. I've not said anything. What are you talking about? You absolute Twitter warrior. What the hell are you talking about? Guy's an a-hole. That guy's an a-hole. Imagine having to live with you. Man. That was rude. That was the first rude, offensive thing I've said. Yes, go on.
Women claiming that the secret to their gleaming smiles is stepping away from toothpaste.
Okay. Well, they're using coal or something.
They're not brushing their teeth.
Oh, dirty.
Many of us would love to have the perfect gleaming Hollywood smile, writes The Sun. And as a nation, we Brits spend a staggering £535.6 million to achieve it. But shockingly, these women claim the secret to their white gnashes is never brushing at all.
Yep.
Although the NHS recommends we should brush our teeth for 2 minutes last thing at night and on one other occasion every day, 10 in 3 Brits brush their teeth just once a day.
That's me. Thank you. That's me. I've only got one filling. And I'm going to the hygienist tomorrow. Well, that'll be fun. The big dental con, the hygienist. And it's painful.
Yeah.
Oh, it's painful. It's going to be bloody in there. I hate it. Oh, that's humiliating. But I've only got one filling.
Sun Online spoke to 3 women who claim avoiding dental hygiene has been better for their health. And they look like they've got nice teeth. Special needs teaching assistant Alice Kidd lives in South Croydon with her partner and their 18-month-old son, Carter. Alice says, I never brush my teeth. It's an awful admission to make, and it's one of those social taboos no one's supposed to talk about. But the truth is, I don't bother, and I haven't done for a decade.
Does she eat like dog biscuits or something? Because they're supposed to be really good for dental hygiene. That's what they're for.
When I look in the mirror, I can see they're perfect. Look, they do look quite good. There. Nice teeth.
I wasn't looking at her teeth.
Oh, you're looking at her baby. As a child, I brushed my teeth as and when I remembered. When I was 12, I had to wear braces for a year, and the orthodontist I saw went on and on about brushing my teeth while I had the braces in place, which is why maybe I rebelled. When the braces came off at 13, I chucked out my toothbrush. 10 years on, I have no fillings, extractions or root canals. I've only ever had one filling, and that was before I had braces, ironically, when I did brush regularly. I don't have any problems with my breath smelling gross. While it's hard to truly tell if your breath honks like an overripe cheese, my partner's never made any negative comments. The only thing I do is chew gum.
Oh, well, so she's chewing like dental gum.
Dunno. I know some people suffer with a hairy tongue when they don't brush their teeth and floss regularly. I keep an eye out for that, but it's something I've never had. I don't drink or smoke, so there's no danger of staining my teeth with nicotine or red wine. I'm careful with my diet. I only drink water, and I've never been into fizzy drinks. I don't have a sweet tooth. I'm not even keen on fruit, although I wolf down my veggies. A friend who does brush her teeth regularly has a stain on her front tooth, and she reckons it's because of the acid in the fruit she eats all the time. She hasn't brushed at all.
Dirty man.
There's 3 of them. This other woman hasn't been to the dentist since 2013.
It's a con. I think it is a con. I hadn't been for ages, and I went 2 days ago, and he went, yeah, teeth are fine. I said, right. He said, go to the hygienist. Oh, that's the con. Pay 45 quid to get blood for painful scrapings. That's the thing that's unpleasant.
That's a relatively new thing, though, isn't it? The recommendation that you go and see the hygienist.
Last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that, the dentist used to clean your teeth for you.
Well, they do a little polish, but they don't. They
rummage.
don't. Yeah, the hygienist gets in and scrapes in between all the things, and then spends ages saying, "Well, you should really be using dental floss, or even better, these little brushes." And you go, "Yeah, oh, yeah, okay, I'll buy some at reception," and then you buy them and you never use them because they're painful and they're a con. That's why Mr. Blobby's following me. The governor of Easter Island wept yesterday. Yeah, as she urged Britain to return an 800-year-old statue considered to represent one of her people's ancestors. The 4-ton, 7-foot 10-inch Hoa Hakananis, Hakananai, yes, Hakanan, Hoa, the 7-foot 10-inch Hoa Hakananai. This is fun. Hakananai, and then you think it's finished, but then there's another bit on the next line. Ice. Hoa Hakananai. Hoa Hakananai. Regarded as one of the most spiritually important of the Chilean island's 900 famous stone monoliths, or moai. Each of the figures is said to embody tribal leaders or deified ancestors. It was taken from the island, which lies in the Pacific more than 2,100 miles off the coast of Chile, in 1868 by Commodore Richard Powell, captain of HMS Topaz, who gave it to Queen Victoria. She donated it in 1869 to the British Museum, where it now stands at the entrance to Welcome Trust Gallery. It should say to the Welcome Trust Gallery, because it makes it sound like saying welcome. But Easter Island's indigenous community, the Rapa Nui, want Britain to give back the spiritually unique effigy. Governor Tarita Alacorn Rapu found the sight of the artefact so emotional yesterday that she burst into tears as she begged the museums to return it. This is a great line. She said, "We are just a body. You, the British people, have our soul." The museum has faced other claims to return artefacts to their original homes, including the Elgin marbles to Greece and the Benin bronzes to Nigeria. A spokesman said the museum would only consider lending the statue out, adding the museum is one of the world's leading lenders of that stuff that they've nicked from around the world. The trustees... Well, this is what this young lady needs to do. She needs to say, can we loan it? Swear to God we'll bring it back. Then she gets it, and then they say, right, British Museum say, it's due back last week. Yeah, come and get it.
Yeah.
Sorry, come and get it. And then they go and it's gone. So I got lost in the post. We sent it and it got lost in the post. The British Museum, I do not understand. Most of it... Oh, actually, I'm saying that. I don't know. I suspect that most of it is stolen, right? What are the Elgin marbles really called? I always prefer to call them...
Parthenon marble.
Is that... No. No, they're not, are they? They're called the Elgin marbles because Lord Elgin is the one that nicked them, and I kind of...
The excuse being that they were being left to rack and ruin.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, the Parthenon marbles.
Is it the Parthenon marbles, right? They were being left to rack and ruin, but Greece... The Parthenon... They've done an amazing there's an amazing museum there that's only opened in the last 10, 15 years. Right, I think it's underneath, to the side and down under. There's an amazing museum. So, OK, they weren't looking after it. They will now. Let's give it back, shall we? But they never will. All of that stolen stuff, we should say, look, can we... This is a bit patronising. Can we just come and check your facilities to make sure... Because this is, rare, right? Can we just come and check your facilities and make sure you've got the... I know it's patronising. Make sure you've got the right temperature room, and you can.
Can we help you make it right?
Yeah, come and look. Go. Yeah, okay. This looks fine, and people won't be able to touch it. Fine, great. All right, we'll have it over in 2 weeks. Why can't we give them their stolen stuff back?
Also,
all of these people.
Egypt, do you want some dead bodies back that we took? The ones that we didn't grind down and sell on for hokum powders and things. They were using mummy powder to, plaster rooms and stuff.
Were they?
Yeah, they used to grind them down. They were so prevalent.
Grind a mummy down and wind your body round.
People were flogging them, and, obviously some of them didn't travel too well, and they ended up in bits. They would grind it down and sell it on for, medicine and stuff. Mummy powder.
Oh, man. Can we just give all the stuff back? We don't own it, right? It's the weirdest thing. Do you agree with me, David?
Hi, Ian.
I wasn't listening. Hi there.
Hi. Are you asking me a question about the Elgin marbles?
I was, but the moment's passed. What have you got for us, David?
Well, I wanted to ask you something a bit more personal, and I know that you've been talking a little bit. I don't listen to you the whole time, but you were talking about coming off antidepressants, and I was just wondering how that's going. And you seem to be in a better place than you were a couple of weeks ago.
A better place than was a couple of weeks ago. So I came off my mirtazapine about 6 months ago. I've been taking venlafaxine 150 milligrams, and about 6 weeks ago, I halved it to 75 milligrams, and that was rocky. And then about 2 weeks ago, I've halved it, so I'm now taking 75 milligrams every other day. I tried to do it every third day, but it was too much. And it's slightly less than every 48 hours, because today at lunchtime I started getting the tingly head, and I know that if I don't take one then, in an hour I'm going to be sobbing on the floor. So I took one, and in an hour I still had to go to bed and just lie in bed and try and blank the world out for a couple of hours. And I'm finding it very, very hard to do an uplifting spiritual show, but God damn it, the show must go on, David. So I'm doing my best. So that's where I am. It's hard work, man. It's hard work.
Yeah, but do you think you're on the right path? Do you think things are getting better, or is it hard to work out?
It's better than it was a month ago. Is it the right thing to do? I don't know. I won't know until 2 or 3 months after I've stopped taking them, and they're completely out of my system. I've read some reports it might take 6 months, but 2 or 3 months afterwards, and then I'll know whether coming off antidepressants was the right thing to do, or whether I need to be on them. And loads of people on Twitter going, "Don't do it. Why are you doing it? Because I want to do it, because it's my choice. It's my choice to decide what drugs I put in my body, and I'm deciding I want to see what it feels like not to put these drugs in my body, and I'm very comfortable with that choice. Thank you very much indeed. Why are you asking, David? No, why are you asking?
Well, I don't want to say exactly why. Why? And, I have some experience with people in my family taking antidepressants.
Okay.
Not myself, but
fair enough.
But, Yep.
Have
you noticed anything positive about the experience?
I can come! I can come! I can come, David! I can ejaculate! This is amazing! I can finish it off when I am having it off. I can come, I can come, I can come!
You should put that down on vinyl. That's good.
I can put it down on vinyl, I can put it down on wood, I can put it down on anything now. I couldn't before.
Oh, you're a man. That's good.
My worry is that it's now going, whereas it was taking like 8 hours, and then I'd go, I'm bored, can we stop? Now I'm worried that it's like going too quickly. But that's a matter for a different day.
How many sexual partners have you got?
Oh man, I've got just the one, and it's called My Right Hand, and we are getting very, very intimate at the moment.
Well, that's good. Aside from the sexual stuff, any other good things that you've noticed about coming off antidepressants?
Not yet, no. My weight hasn't gone down. My creativity is a little bit flatter than I'm really hoping that when I come off them completely, my creativity, I'm going to have a creative burst, and my imagination's going to kind of zap back into action, because it's feeling a bit flat at the moment and a bit tired. So no, I've noticed nothing else yet, David. But no.
So what was the original reason for wanting to come off them?
Just to see what it was like off them, because I was approaching. You're not from the Daily Mirror, are you?
No, God no.
Okay, fine. I am approaching a much calmer, stabler, more stable position than I've been in years, because finally the divorce is getting settled. That'll be settled in a month. I've got a house to live in, opposed to the room I was renting. I'm not in a relationship that was not working and no one would admit was not working. And so I just want to see, I think, this point in my life is a good point to see if I can survive without medication. And so, yeah, I just want to see.
Okay. But there wasn't a specific reason that you thought there wasn't some inhibition that the drugs were causing for you, that you wanted to come off them to, I don't know, like kind of wake up, or I don't know, I don't understand. I've never taken them, but it was more about just coming off them rather than something that you felt that they were inhibiting.
I think
because if there's nothing that's bad that they're doing to you, why not just stay on them? That's another way of asking the question.
Well, okay. Well, then by the fact that you're asking the question makes me says to me I have not explained well enough why I want to come off them. The point of why I want to come off them has been missed, and that must be my fault for not explaining it properly.
Well, the sexual side is enough on its own.
No, but not the sexual side to one side. No, but why would I want to... if there is a chance that I don't have to put a chemical into my body, wouldn't
in order to feel normal.
Yeah, wouldn't I want to take that chance?
Yeah.
And the only way I can know if I need to put this chemical in my body or not is to stop taking it for a while and see if, if I'm ending up in bed sobbing and wanting to kill myself, then, OK, fine, I'll go back on it.
But there wasn't some specific side effect.
I need. What is the specific side effect that you're referring to? Because there's obviously something you're aiming for.
I don't know. Some people maybe feel that when they're taking antidepressants, they feel that they're not fully there, that they're kind of
I never felt that.
Spaced out.
I never felt that. Is that what someone in your family is feeling?
I don't want to go into too much detail, but you can. My experience of someone I know on antidepressants is that they changed very substantially and weren't the person that you knew before, and in a kind of worrying way. That it's like it's not the person that you knew that you were talking to.
Okay.
But that's not your. It's difficult to know from your own point of view, right?
Yeah, everyone's different, man. I don't know.
Can I interject?
Yeah, hello, Catherine.
Because I know Iain and I know what he's been like on various kinds of medication. There was one in particular that did take him away.
Yes.
It made him very distant and didn't care. Obviously it stopped him from being depressed because he didn't give a toss about anything, but he also couldn't engage with anything, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Is that the sort of thing you're talking about?
Yeah, well, I know that they have effects. They have side effects.
David's being vague. David, listen, there's only so much I think we've shared our experience as much as we can. And I understand why you're being coy, and I'm not pushing for you, but if you can't give us... There's obviously something you're aiming for, and without knowing your situation and the story of the person that you're obliquely referring to, and I get why you're being oblique, then there's not really any more we can say, I don't think.
But no, it's been a very interesting conversation.
I hope it's helped, man.
All the best. I love you, Iain.
I love you, David.
I hope it works out for you.
I hope it works out for you and for whoever it is in your family that's affected, brother. You take care.
Cheers, mate. Thanks
for
very much.
Ta-ta. What a nice guy. I understand why he's been a bit coy. You don't want to drop people in it. Danny, stay there. We'll come to you in a second. 0344 499 1000. Paul Ross is on at 1. This is Talk Radio.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
This station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Paul Ross coming in at 1 o'clock. Let's go to Danny. Good evening, Danny.
Hi, Iain. All right, Kath?
Hiya.
Here comes Danny. Let's get this show started. At last, 12:49 and 48 seconds. Danny finally calls up. Now the show can start. Away you go, brother.
So, now that your jizz is working, if Cameron Diaz gives you a call for a remake of There's Something About Mary, you're in.
Sorry. But here's the thing. I don't think they use real semen in that movie anyway. I think it was fake spaff. I think so. Yeah, there's a company in America that makes it, yeah.
No, I won't watch the sequel then, not interested. I think you explained your situation with your antidepressants perfectly the first time round, but I think, that bloke was a nice bloke, maybe trying to ask questions without giving away too much about his own...
Oh, yeah, which is fine. I understand that, but I think we kind of got as far as we could without knowing what it was he was it was his situation, and we couldn't...
One way.
Yeah, couldn't say too much more, but, I wish him the best of luck. I hope he sorts it out. I hope his friend gets well, and I hope everyone's happy and everyone stops fighting and everyone loves each other and we all give each other talcum powder massages on our chests and our backs. That's what I want for this world.
I'm a grown man and I still use talcum powder.
Mate, it gives you cancer.
No, I breathe out. I don't breathe in when I'm near it.
The thing is, the particles, this is why they... Because I was saying this a few years ago, where's talcum powder gone? And I think it was you, Tommy Kath, loads of stories of it giving cancer, particularly ovarian cancer, because it goes up inside a woman.
Yeah.
But it's such fine particles, Danny, that you will be inhaling it. I used to love... Come on, scientists, please, invent non-cancerous talcum powder. There's nothing better after a bath...
It's the least they can do.
Slathering yourself in talc.
Keeps you fresh and dry. My husband's family swear by it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've got 4 of them in the cupboard, just in case there's a shortage.
Daddy's living in a cancer house. What are you talking about?
Can I talk about the chase quickly?
Yeah, of course you can.
I was watching it. I've never watched that programme. I don't like any quiz programmes because I want the question and I want the answer immediately. I don't want that question and then 5 minutes later the answer.
Yeah.
Never watched The Chase before. I thought you were very good on it.
Thank you.
You were diddled. You know you were diddled, didn't you?
Yeah.
I was watching that, the woman, she got 17 in a row.
Yeah.
I was watching that with my cats, and only 2 of my cats speak English, and they got all of them, most of those answers.
One of our questions was, what city did the music scene Manchester originally from? But also, the thing was, right, the Chaser has significantly more time in that final round. Because they get the same amount of time, but we would have to press the button, wait for our name to be said, and then answer. But she can answer. Come in, Paul. She can answer as soon as the question is fired at her. So that saves loads of time. And also, I was with Stanley Johnson, who didn't have a clue what day it was. He didn't bring his hearing aid, so he couldn't hear anything.
And you were even being nice and looking at him before you answered the questions.
Well, if there were any I knew, I went straight in. If there were any I was unsure about, I looked at him to see if he was flinching. There was nothing. And if there was any I did, and then I guessed. And if there was any I didn't have a clue at, I'd look at him, see he wasn't moving, so I would buzz in and pass. I did it all, basically. I did it all.
Can I say hello to Paul before you cut me off mercilessly?
Well, let me just ask. Paul, Danny wants to say hello to you. Is that
I'd
all right?
love to say hello to Danny.
Mr. Ross says it's okay, Danny.
Hello, Paul. This is Paul Ross calling from 1970 again. How are you?
Not too bad. Basically, good to hear your voice again. In fact, I don't want to play one-upmanship with Iain because he'd always beat me, but I was on The Chase with John Thompson, Carol Vorderman, and a woman played Scylla, and we won 100 grand from The Chase.
Wow.
25 grand for each charity.
Did
the
you?
problem for me, Danny, was... I can't remember who I gave it to. I think a childhood leukemia charity, but they sent me the cheque in my name personally. And I had that heart-flipping moment. I was open. I went, gugum, gugum, gugum.
You couldn't do it.
No. But I must admit, the bad side of me, for a nanosecond, thought, is there a way of... No, there's not a way of doing that. But we got lucky. With 4 of you, of course, you pushed the Chaser back 4 immediately. But you're right, the buzzer is their inbuilt advantage.
Right.
So the more that get... And we all 4 got through. But the buzzer means that, of course, they nick time, don't they?
Yeah, I didn't realise... I must admit, I've not really seen The Chase. I'm aware of it. And if it's on, I'll watch a few minutes of it. But I wasn't completely aware of the rules, even though you're sat for like 3 hours. They keep going through the rules here. I didn't realise that if there were more of you at the...
Yeah. You get for each person who gets through, the Chaser goes back 1. So you get. We had a 4-place start, if that makes sense. But the buzzer is a kind of downside.
I think we had a different round. I think we had a different final because we answered like 17 questions in a row. And she got like 18.
Yeah.
I think was it the same? Is that the same way it worked for you?
No, we started kind of 4 in because each person got a place in.
Okay.
So maybe you got maybe you moved up 1 because you'd survived.
All I know is that it took 3.5 hours.
But he just went. It was the beast we were against. That guy Mark Labat. He's a lovely fella. He's about 8 foot tall.
Yeah.
But he went. I think he got a couple of soap opera questions. It was like watching a Rubik cube unravel. And you could see him start to doubt himself.
Brilliant.
He went down.
It's a fun show, that.
Oh yeah. Bradley's a lovely fellow, isn't he?
Bradley's brilliant, man. He's a machine. Danny, I'm cutting you off now.
Bye, Danny.
It's been a pleasure.
Get lost. Get lost, bumlick.
No friends in showbiz.
No. What's on your show tonight, Mr. Ross?
Well, I'm looking forward to this immensely. I'll tell you what, it's Thanksgiving Day today in America, our time. They're slowly getting up. It's always the 3rd Thursday in November, 1620 when the Pilgrim Father...
on the Thursday, not the 24th?
No, it's always on the Thursday,
okay.
So they do it, it's to mark the 1620 arrival of the Pilgrim Fathers. We've been all over the states on the Late, Early show. We had 3 states left deliberately, and we're going to go to each one tonight.
Yeah.
South Dakota for Mount Rushmore, Oklahoma for the Cowboy Museum, and Tupelo, Mississippi for the birthplace of Elvis. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to tick up, it's the final ones of our American state journey.
Mount Rushmore, I mean, what are the chances of a mountain growing in the shape of the faces of some of the presidents of America? That is amazing,
I once had a pimple that had the look of Julia Hartley-Brewer, but you're right, a granite mountain growing into Washington, Jefferson,
amazing.
Roosevelt and Lincoln. Amazing.
And there's a secret room in there where they keep...
Round the back, the guy tells us about it, apparently.
Incredible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have a little listen
It's a
to
kind
that.
of Dan Brown type thing. And also they're building an even bigger mountain-based statue of Crazy Horse on his horse. That's going to dwarf, again, on the Black Hills of Dakota.
Wow.
So it should be a good show tonight, I think. Happy Thanksgiving if you're American, and even if you're not.
Here's that I would be up for, because I'm glad that people, I don't know where Halloween originated from, but I'm glad that we've got, like, the trick-or-treat. I love that. I think that's a great Americanism. I'm glad that Christmas is kind of an American thing now. I'd be up for having Thanksgiving. Has anyone ever tried to really kickstart that in the... I'd be up for that. A big old feast a month before Christmas.
Mind you, it's turkey. It's a double turkey in 4 weeks, isn't it? They have their turkey on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Don't know what they have on Christmas Day. Burgers, probably. Chicken nuggets or something hideous.
We'll have a bit of lamb. lamb or something for Thanksgiving. a bit of beef. We'll have some beef. That would be great. A nice old nosh up.
That's one for next year. If we're
Why do we
spared.
call it? You're welcome giving because we let them have it, didn't we?
You're welcome. Yeah, that'll do it. Anything else you want to?
We've got a lovely story about it's a kind of story of generosity and tenacity. A couple who got a lovely puppy, Hungarian Vizsla. They thought it just had this thing they call puppy crawl. It didn't. It had been trod on as a puppy, and its back legs simply didn't work.
Oh.
And
They replaced it with wheels, please.
They've got the wheels there, but even so, it was a life-threatening condition, and you can't insure against a pre-existing condition. They needed £16,000. Lovely couple from Bournemouth. They went on to a Just Giving thing, GoFundMe or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's called Gilbert's Journey. They've got all over the world. Buenos Aires have sent money, from America, Singapore and stuff. So we've got the couple on the programme. And Gilbert the doggy.
How people reach in their pockets. You see, we've been looking at cat. I want to get some kittens. We've been looking at cats online and people just...
I'd have them all.
Yeah. I'm looking at all of them going, I could take
Well, I had a
that
problem
one,
with
that one.
cats in that when I was about in my mid-30s, a long time ago, I suddenly developed a cat allergy. And apparently late onset allergies is quite common. And I used to love, we had lovely cats when I was a kid. I had a couple of cats myself with my first or second wife. They blow into one after a long time. But I can't have a cat now. I always blow up and everything.
Well, this is why I'm getting them, so you can't come to my house, Paul. It's as simple as that. Paul
As
Ross
if I would.
is up next. We'll be back tonight at 10. Thank you. Ta-ta.